love for you to tell me if it was AI that apparently the father came out and called um Anthony, Carmelo Anthony, a watermelon felon. Did the
Yeah,
father?
we have the video. We got the video.
Possibly.
So if you
Possibly.
telling me, you're telling me now, and the father is outside the courthouse saying this wasn't about race, right? That's what apparently they said that he did a present say, oh, this wasn't about race, it's about justice. And then you're sorry, Nat, as a survivor, as a fellow survivor, I'm going to, as a fellow survivor, I'm going to be respectful of the father because I sometimes I have to pull myself back. I apologize, but you're telling me that after you gave this whole long speech, you're going to call the kid a watermelon fella. You couldn't call him an N-word. You couldn't call him what you really wanted to. The fact is, this is all about profiling. It's all about a black young man and stuff like that, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Because he
Yeah.
should not have been charged with first.
Hey, Mama Flips,
Go in there.
Layla, hold on. Layla
But the
says
father,
you need to deal. Layla says deal. Layla says deal with it. You see that?
I
the
am.
father, I heard a press thing when he came out and spoke. He also said that he felt for Carmelo too, being in there because he not ready to be in that place, and he said he had some forgiveness, but he can't forget it as well. You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't forget my
I
nephew.
heard the father say that
I
too.
didn't
Like,
forget.
where?
I didn't forget. She's a yeah, your mama. I did not forgive my. I
I
didn't
heard it.
forgive. I didn't forgive the person that unalived my nephew. You understand that he's coming out. He only got 25 years, so I think he's gonna be out soon. And yeah, your mama. That's who I'm talking about. And your children and your baby and your future generation, all of them are that. Thank you. In regards to
Whoa,
this,
whoa, whoa!
the
This is
That's
too
people
much
that
now.
cold.
ask me what I'm gonna
That's
do
too
about it.
cold.
Cold.
Sorry, what I'm gonna do about it?
Yeah.
They call me out of my name. I'm calling their future generation. The person that's talking about me, you know what I'm gonna do about it? I'm gonna continue to talk about it. I'm gonna donate to Kamala Anthony's books. I'm gonna help identify a civil rights lawyer, right? If they need funding in order to pay this lawyer in order to defend him so he can get a new trial, I'll be one of the ones that be putting money on his books and on the lawyer. That's what I'm gonna do about it. That's what I'm going to do about it. You see, I'm not going to sit there and talk to y'all sorry asses who don't even understand anything that we were said. Don't even understand the fact that Mel said that this kid approached him and pulled him up. This is why that he didn't rush him. He didn't intentionally do it. Y'all not don't want to understand because you guys are racist in your brain, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to help the family. And so if you want to know what I'm going to do about it, I'm going to help the family to help Carmelo. That's what I'm going to do about it. Go ahead
Yeah.
now.
No matter what way you slice it, you can't bring a knife into a airport, to a movie theater. Well, you can bring a movie theater, maybe, but typically when they have those rules, if you break the rules, you're going downtown. Life is gonna be very complicated. So that's what I'm saying.
But we
When
never knew.
But
Yeah, Mel. My bad, Mel. Sorry, Mel.
no,
Go
no,
ahead,
no,
Mel.
no, 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 it's okay. Once I saw that, I'm like, man, this case is just a matter of time, you know.
the case was a matter of time way before Mel. You bringing a knife into or breaking a school rule should not get you life in prison.
No, that's not good. What you could do with a knife could get you something like that.
Of
But
course,
you know what I mean? At the same time, you know what I mean? That's what we didn't get with him not testifying. We never got his mindset. We never got, even the family don't have that closure because yes, they got the sentence and all of that, but the family still probably want closure to say what really made you want to do it besides just the touching, besides the fight and all of that. What's in your mind? Because Carmelo could have came out to say, listen, man, there's been some people coming after me. I've been getting threats. I've been getting this. People have been racist to me. We don't know what his mindset is in that moment. And that's the bad thing about him not
Yeah,
testifying.
but
I think that's
Uda, that
he's
would
gonna
have
take
been,
off a long time.
but Uda, that would have been official to hear at least something from him. We walked away,
Something.
never heard his voice,
Nothing.
never heard an explanation.
And when you locked up and you didn't speak in your own trial and it goes wrong for you, you're going to sit in that cell and you're going to think, what if I spoke for myself? What if I said something? Maybe you could have showed some remorse and forget people talking about remorse. Maybe you could show remorse for your own stuff because he seemed like he was remorseful. His mom said he was even remorseful, but we never got to hear it from him to say, listen, man, this happened in the spur of the moment. I felt like this, or I was being bullied, or whatever that people are speculating, whatever happened. But we don't know the inside of his mind. You know what
So
I'm saying? And that's the
let
sad
me
part.
They
let
say
me say this real quick.
the lawyer told him that is the lawyer his lawyer made the decision for him not to testify. Is that wrong? That's what I was told.
How
Lawyers is
how are we
janky.
gonna know? How are we gonna
Lawyers is
know?
janky. What is a janky? Even that minister talking for them, I don't know why they got that man talking for them. Man, a plum fool. Man, a plum fool.
That's my whole point, right? Check this out.
Okay.
When the father came, because you keep talking about the father came to that event, the press conference is so disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you on a different level why that was the moment, okay? I guarantee you, listen to me, I'll put up $10,000. If they had embraced the father and said, listen, okay, let's pray together and offered to put a few bucks toward the funeral for him, you'd be in a different situation. When they rejected that father, he went back out there and told the world. And then it turned into this whole race thing when you got a Martin Luther King wannabe sitting there talking about race. You cannot do that under these circumstances. And I'm telling you what I know. I'm from the South. You can't tell me I'm New York.
You can't do that.
New York is not. Listen,
you cannot do that.
Tell me.
All right. Okay.
I don't know why that man was even a spokesperson. I don't know why. Man can't even speak.
Guys, stop it. You guys, you guys are being ridiculous right now. You're telling me that this father came to the press conference so he could have a prayer.
That's what he said, though. He went on record. He went on record saying that.
So he could not have met up or arranged a meeting with the family out on the public.
You out?
Right?
Okay.
Right? To meet with the family. I just want to make sure that he couldn't arrange to ask for a meeting with the family outside of the cameras to talk about what happened with their children. That couldn't have happened. He chose that moment because he's such a godly person in front of all those cameras to ask for prayer.
So listen.
And even if he was kicked out and he's such a Christian as you guys want him to leave,
I never said that. Don't
outside and be like, look, can you send the family a note and say, look, I'm not there to intimidate them. I know I may have come across an intimidation, but I really want to talk to them about what happened with our children so we could come to some resolution. I'm willing to have your son maybe do 5 years if we come together. He could have done that. And all this time, he could have done that. He chose that time.
You got to choose your battles. Listen to me. Listen to me. I don't just operate at a low level. I operate to try to solve major issues and make major money. That's how
what we got to do.
Okay.
That's what we got to do.
So listen to me, right? And this is not about money, but what I'm saying is the father is there. Everybody's watching him. He has his whole world looking in. He made a big thing about it going there. It could have been a test, right? He rose up in there and they kicked the guy out. You know how that translates to the world? It gets you 35 years. It gets you 35 years.
It's not good, man.
They didn't kick him out right away. That's the problem that I had with him being there.
I don't know the details. Listen.
They did not kick him out right away. Okay?
God bless America.
That guy just seemed like a grifter to me, as far as the minister goes. But at the same time, right, the father can feel whatever he want to feel. Metcalf family can feel whatever they want to feel. But in the little conversation that I heard him have on the news, the last one, maybe when the gag order was lifted, he even said he forgave Karmelo. You know what I'm saying? He won't forget certain things. Listen, he didn't have to say this. The man didn't have to say this.
Nope.
He got justice. The man, I'm not even defending him. He's his own man. But the man said that, bro. He shocked me. He shocked me when he said this.
And then he gonna call the kid a watermelon a felon? And the
that's now. But listen, that's now.
I don't know what happened now. I didn't hear that part now.
We're going back in time. We're talking back in time when this happened, right? Okay, here. Let me give it to you this way. Let's say they didn't have this family representative and they had Calvin Johnson representing them, right? Okay, more than likely they wouldn't have had a press conference. But number two, when the guy gave them an olive branch, that would have been your time to make a deal. Try to come up with some sort of deal, because I promise you, Texas is not what you want. And if you go there for a few minutes, you start to realize that the control that the officers have in telling you, sit down, shut up, it's not New York. You're thinking from a New York point of view.
State of mind. Yeah.
Black people are not equal in Texas. I'm going to tell you that straight up right now.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to understand what I'm saying.
In that prison.
Okay,
him being in Texas,
I'm trying to tell her, man. She don't want to listen to me.
So you telling me that the cops told him to shut up and get out?
I'm telling you what we experienced at the courthouse.
No.
Oh yeah, I said that. Okay, I'm talking.
I had
Are you talking about the dad?
the
What?
case in the first place, right? I said the reason why I knew there was about to be some bull crap is because they allowed the father to attend the Karmelo Anthony family presser. You said he went there to ask for prayer to talk to the family, right? That's what you said. And
It
you
came
said
out of the man's mouth. He said it. I have
That's
the
what he
video.
said.
He
We
said
don't
it
know.
out of
That's
his
what he
mouth.
said. What he said.
Jesus Christ. You're looking it up now. We know what we're talking about.
That's what the man said. I don't know if he mean it or not. The man said it though.
Jeff, I made a surprise. Let's look at this video. Let's look at this, please. Let's look at this. Thank you. Hold on. Let's read. Why don't we read
And I don't have no sides to it.
I'm not.
You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
not telling. I'm not.
Both sides took a loss. Both sides.
And
Both
again,
sides.
and I want to say, as a survivor, I understand the loss better than anybody in that chat. Unless your ass lost a family member to violence, you don't have anything to say to me because I lost a family member to violence. So I already know what time the family is on, right? So I want to show this article. All right. Unannounced. Okay. Hold on. Let's show up this article so we could all read it together. Right?
Yeah. I feel bad for Karmelo, man. I feel very bad for him, man. When he got sentenced to that whole day was just like, very heavy day for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just
But,
a very heavy day.
So Uda, let me ask you this: how many cases do you know, whether the guy's sincere or not, where the father comes out and says, "Hey, I want to pray with you guys. I forgive you."
Never.
To the public.
No.
Right?
The public,
And he's the greatest spokesperson. If you could speak with that, then he's a person that's going to be in front of those cameras saying something different. See what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, both parents sent their kids to school or sent them to that trap meet, not expecting that none of this was going to happen. Nobody wanted this to happen, regardless of the fact of what we think about both families. Both families didn't want this to happen. You know what I'm saying? It happened between their children, man.
Are we ready to
So,
read the article together?
you know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's read the article together since we're here. Okay, because we want to make sure. All right. So here's the article. Okay. Tension erupt as tracks poking victim father sent up unannounced as suspect family press conference. The fact that we have suspect here lead me to believe that people is about to be on some bull crap. All right. So Jeff Metcalf made a surprise appearance. Okay. Hold on. At the press conference being held by the parent of Karmelo Anthony. The father of Texas high school student poked to unalivement at the Rock made an unexpected appearance at the press conference being held by the parents of the teenage murder suspect. Jeff Metcalf, who lost his son, Austin, arrived at the Dallas venue where the parents of Karmelo Anthony was speaking publicly for the first time on Thursday. Video posted by CBS Texas showed officers from the Dallas Police Department arriving about 40 minutes after the scheduled start of the press conference and escorting Metcalf from the venue without incident. So he was there for 40 minutes before they escorted him. Anthony family spokesperson Dominique Alexander began the press conference by criticizing Metcalf for deciding to attend the event, saying that his attendance was a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Alexander went on to say he knew that it was inappropriate to be near the family, but he did it. Actions speak louder than words. Carla Hayes, the mother of Karmelo Anthony, said her family has been under attack from segment of the public since the son allegedly unalived Austin Metcalf on April 2nd. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. Hayes said the lies and false accusation that has been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelmingly. Sorry, I can't pronounce the word. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger. She also addressed the Metcalf family, saying to the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. Hayes also made a public plea that her son not be expelled from school just 1 month from graduation and instead be allowed to finish his coursework from home. Anthony face, and then it goes on. Now, Anthony allegedly removed, and then this is where it goes in. Metcalf, okay, pronounced the arresting officer. There's nothing here that says that this guy was there for 40 minutes. 40 minutes standing there. I don't see any place there on that article, unless you guys have another article in which he said that he came there to pray for them. And the fact that the police officers and everybody that was there in the press conference allowed this man to be there for 40 minutes and not escort him out. So yeah, gentlemen, let's talk about it. Where did he say that he wanted to pray with them when he was there with them for 40 minutes? Where did it say that he said,
well,
Father, can I speak to you? I'm not here. Raise my hand, wife. I'm not here to intimidate you as I stand here for 40 minutes staring the daggers at you. I'm here to come and talk to you and pray with you because I know we both going through it. He had 40 minutes.
just one article. That's just one article.
That's people. Show another article. I'm more than willing to
I
see
mean,
articles.
listen to what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
Sometimes easy is better than hard. If they're giving you an olive branch, it's gonna go better in your favor to try to make a deal.
Really?
Simply.
Mel, I'm gonna ask
See, certain concepts is really hard to get people to understand. So
I want you to explain to me because I want to ask you, have you lost somebody?
everybody's watching the father,
You,
the judge. Everybody's watching this guy, right?
uh-huh.
I'm not talking about what he's saying now because today, when you listen to what he had to say, he's saying, I think that's where he said it. He
Oh,
said it in
today.
the speech today. He
Oh,
said, I offered to pray with them. I believe that's what he said
oh,
too.
that's what he said. Oh,
At
okay.
any rate, what I'm saying is if you could have somehow made a amends, I think the guy wouldn't have received 35 years. That's my only point.
I
Okay.
disagree with you 100%. I think
That I could be wrong. I'll sit on that. But what I'm saying is, in a state like Texas, now, right? Check it out, because I saw the guy. I saw the guy Dominic. That's his so-called whatever pastor slash family spokesman. He pulls up in a suburban. He has 3 or 4 security guards. He looks like Barack Obama. He's coming like presidential. People are actually watching that and they're saying, "Oh, you received $1 million." I heard this while I was there. They're saying, "Oh, you received $1 million. The family got on Gucci, blah blah." This is what they're just saying because everybody wants to point fingers that they received GoFundMe money or whatever you want to call it, right? So what I'm saying is, this guy getting up for your family. If it was my family, I would have followed the attorney. I would have had a mixture like Diddy. I would have had a black guy. I would have had a cowboy with some cowboy boots attorney in there, right? I would have had a great mixture, right? To kind of cover all the bases. I'm saying you got to move with intelligence when you're in trouble, or else you're going to get 35 years or you're going to get life, right? This guy's out there saying, all the black people and our kids are okay, we get that. But you need to get on that when we don't have a murder. Get out there and promote for the black people to do the right thing and for us to really rise up, get into the system, become lawyers, step your game up. But don't wait till this guy's life is on the line and get a guy out there. And this is a conversation I probably shouldn't be having right now. But anyway, I'm going to step away from it. I'll say my little piece. But for him to get out there and say, oh, blacks, and make it all that, it's just going to increase the tension out there and they're going to throw the book at that boy. And that's what they did. You follow what I'm saying?
But that's not what happened, Mel. You
Oh, God.
rewriting history.
Hold on. Wait. God bless America, home of the goddamn brave. That's it for me. I'm out. I can't argue this with you.
Mel, I'm
you have the floor.
The reason
you have the
saying
floor.
that's not what happened is because they did not want to have a civil rights lawyer. Okay. It was explained. Also, it was explained that this family was very influential, right? To the point that this cowboy, after the verdict came and he was doing a live. I don't know if you saw that live where he was laughing because he said that family has a lot of wealth and money and they're going to lose their house and everything to the Metcalf family because they're going to sue them. They were very well established family over there. They had money, they have house, they had location. You understand what I'm saying? They know this. All right. So the reason why they came there like that, dressed like that, is because they came, because that's where they came. They worked very hard to go in that neighborhood, so they were wearing their clothes. So that's one thing. Second thing is, I feel the family felt they felt so equal to the environment that they live in, because if you look at most of the pictures that Karmelo Anthony was on, we was surrounded by white young people, because those were the people that he hung around with. They felt so comfortable in that area where they lived, that they felt they were equal, that they felt they was going to have equal justice. They did not have equal justice, right? That's why he got 35 years. So is it better that they feel better now going the what they consider the right way, thinking they're equal and they had the attorneys and stuff like that? Or would it make them feel better if they had like civil rights attorneys with them also, maybe coming up with another possible?
No, too much. I would have kept a low profile. I would have
Mix it
went
up.
in there,
I'd have
tried to
mixed
make.
up my team. I'd have mixed my team up. And most definitely, my defense team would not have called someone that said that I'm guilty or I'm the one to blame for it too.
Exactly.
The defense called the witness that said that.
Crazy.
What type of shoddy defense is this?
Crazy. I would have had everybody. I would have had the George Zimmerman lawyer. I would have had Mark Agnifilio. I would have had Dilly Lawyer. I would have had the Alec Karen Agnifilio. I would have had the black. I would have had what's her name? West Morehouse. I would have had her crying on the stand, talking about how great this kid is. I would have had everybody there. You crazy?
You gotta mix it up. You gotta mix it
I
up.
would have been so comfortable, as I believe the family was, thinking they're going to have a fair shake when they did not have a fair shake. No, they didn't.
You know, you can make that case that they didn't have a fair shake. You can make that case that he didn't get a fair shake.
It was too many.
But it's Texas.
Exactly.
It's Texas.
And that's another reason, because Uda, he should not have had the case. At the very least, they should have fought for him to be removed from that area. The trial should have been moved. It should have been moved. The trials get moved all the time. Trials get moved all the time. It was the most simplest thing that lawyers could fight. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but that's the first step. Let's move the trial. There's no way that he's going to have.
The defense was janky. The defense was janky. The defense was janky. We got to all agree on that. The defense was janky. Because I don't even think that they brought up certain motions and things in the court that could even help his appeal.
They did not. They didn't. It's like they handed the young man, and that's why a lot of people was upset, because there are black folks in our community that believe that the young man should not have had a poker. There are black folks. I've been on live for a year that I had to step away. I couldn't talk because people were taking the stance that he caused the incident to happen, and we should not be defending a young man that unalived another person, whether it's black or white. We should stand on it. He should. That's a track meet. It should have been peaceful. He deserves. So we have black folks saying that same thing too. That's why I didn't get into the fight. I didn't get into the fight because of the fact that I knew he was going to be found guilty. Also, I just didn't want to cover the story, right? But after the case is done and I'm listening to everything that happened, I'm like, he didn't even get a fair trial. At the very least, if he got a fair trial and he was found guilty, we could say that we, like with Diddy, I could say I'm pissed off with the way the trial went, but at least I got 2 out of 5. You understand what I'm saying? But we can't even say that about this trial. This trial was a freaking setup.
So let me ask you a question though. What made the trial unfair?
I said it several. I'll repeat it. The fact is that they should have removed. I thought, first of all, I thought the judge, the father, and the district attorney were all friends. They're not.
Not true.
That's not true. The judge right now, we need to figure out what kind of case this judge and the district attorney have, but I'll leave that aside. The first step was the fact that they got rid of 3 qualifying jurors, right? Because they said that the jurors were educators and they couldn't be unbiased in the case. If it's proven that one of the actual jurors that was there was an educator too, we have a problem. That's one. But
so that one is speculation. That's speculation.
That's speculation. But the biggest problem I have with this case is the fact that they held the trial in that area. They should have removed the trial. They should have moved the trial to another county they should have moved the trial. That's the biggest thing that I have with this case, because there is no way he was going to have a fair trial in that community. The judge knew it. The district attorney knew it. The defense attorney knew it. Everybody knew. The
multiple things. We could point to many things. He didn't have no black jurors. There's many things you could say. You know what I'm saying? There's multitudes of things. If you want to make a case for that, you can. But the defense got to do better. Where's y'all on? You know what I'm saying?
Telling me they only objected twice. I'm hearing that the defense only had 6 witnesses and the prosecutor had 21. I'm hearing that they didn't even bring in, and probably the person wouldn't have wanted to, but they didn't bring in any expert witnesses for
no character witness to come speak towards his character. What about that
person that he saved a life? They didn't bring that witness. What about the possibility of bringing, and did the Alexander brothers? They brought every type of freaking specialist in the Alexander brothers, right? They didn't bring that. They didn't bring the autopsy. They didn't talk about the actual incident unless you tell me about the actual. Did they bring any medical expert to explain why that 3.5 inch?
Yeah, they did. They did.
And what did what medical experts say?
It talked about how the knife punctured his bones. It went deeply into him at 2.5 inches. They explained it was pretty gruesome, but
so
here's the bottom line with the case, right?
Before you finish, okay. So, and this is another thing the defense I thought was stupid not to do. So they didn't talk about his weight, how big he was, the size of the knife, and the probability. How did that big kid with meat and muscle with a 3-inch knife would have broke through the bone and get into his heart? They didn't talk about it. They didn't do any.
Yeah, I mean, they went through it all. I mean, it's very typical of these cases. They break it down.
They spoke on that. They spoke on some stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. They broke it down. So
it was easy to. I guess it's easy to do then. I guess. Because I would have think it would have been difficult to get a 3.5 knife from here to your heart, but maybe I'm wrong. Then maybe I'm wrong.
They spoke about how that thing could break the chest cavity and all of these types of things, and then blood is flowing in your chest cavity and a bunch of stuff. You got to get to a hospital very, very quick to even stop that. To the left is a punctured lungs, maybe that, but you got to break the chest cavity to even start to repair the wound. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot. That was a lot. So I heard Karmelo was turning away. I heard that he had like his head down in some of that part when it was showing like the heart and stuff like that.
So they do show the autopsy and stuff like that.
So they showed like images and stuff like that as well. You know what I mean? I heard that he turned his head, he was looking down and stuff like that as well. Because it's that thing. I don't feel like he wanted to that he would do that. You know what I'm saying? But if you hitting somebody in their chest, is but so much things that could possibly happen when you hitting somebody in the chest. You know what I'm saying?
So I expected it to show, because I didn't hear that they showed the autopsy. I expected it because they did the same thing with my nephew.
They showed his heart. They showed his. It was a heart. They showed that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They showed that stuff in full.
And the family got up and walked out. It was gruesome. See, listen. Here's what I felt. Right, and I want to hold on. Just give me just 1 second.
One question: did they show the entry of the actual blade, the body on the film? Did we see that? That's what I'm asking you. Not just for
they showed it. They showed it to the jurors.
They showed it to the jurors. That's all I'm going to ask. Go ahead, Mel.
All right. So don't tell me I forgot my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ, man.
I'm sorry. I told you it was going to be a hot show.
Oh my God, man! I forgot now. So
I warned you. I warned you it was going to be hot. I told you I was going to be on fire tonight. I told you, so I warned you. I didn't want him.
Pretty gruesome, man.
Yeah.
I feel bad on both sides. You know what I mean? I feel bad.
Before we talked about the autopsy, just to see if you could remember what we were saying, I was talking about the fact that I was surprised that size of a knife would have actually penetrated and stuff like that that way. And I was also saying that did they have other specialists on the trial, because they had a lot of specialists in the Diddy trial, and I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of specialists in the Luigi's trial. Did they have anything that has to do that talked about the psychology of the possibly the mindset of young Karmelo Anthony? Did they have any witnesses besides the 6 that could just do character? Because I think Udo was like they didn't even have any character witnesses
No
for him,
witnesses for him.
right? Did they have anything that could show you as sitting there that the defense gave their 100% to Carmelo Anthony to try to defend him? Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, no,
No.
no. I mean, I sat there. I felt like Toby Shook did a good job, but the other guy, he
Oh,
kind of
Mike
fell
Howard.
off.
Mike Howard, right? I think he was slow footed or something. I don't know what's going on with him. I
I
think Mike Howard.
couldn't figure it out. Yeah, couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a bunch of things going on with that defense, you know what I'm saying? And we understand that the burden of proof is on the state. You feel me? Because look, we was at the Diddy trial. They said no defense. I was shocked as hell. I said, y'all ain't gonna say nothing? What the hell? I said, Diddy done. They ain't said nothing. Diddy's done. I couldn't believe it. He better be happy he beat the Charles B. beat. Because I'd never seen nothing like that in my life. That they didn't even call nothing. They said, nah. They battled and did their defense live while the prosecutors was doing their thing. That was their defense. But I think that Carmelo needed more than that. They needed some time to spend a couple of days on that. If you're not going to spend a week like the prosecution did, they needed to spend more time on this, man, and call some witnesses. You know what I mean? And try something. I think they failed them. I think the defense failed them, yo, for real. Besides the system, if you want to say that is rigged or whatever else, the defense most definitely gotta take a lot of that burden of the defense that they gave him, man. Especially in a place like Texas, it's crazy, man. Trust me.
I don't think the family got really comfortable. I'm not sure why the family felt that they was going to get a fair deal on that case. Some people were saying, one person told me in my life that their family is not Black American. They might be Caribbean or Indian or Haitian. I said, if they're Haitian, I'm about to curse out my Haitian brothers and sisters in a minute. Like, you get to the point where when you don't live that life, you think that is something that is not. You understand what I'm saying? So I just think that they really felt they was going to have safe, break. Oh, but Mel, I did want to ask you a question. They were saying, and I'm talking about another content creator said that when they broke that last day, the expectation was to come back to hear more. But when you guys went in, his mother, Kamala Anthony mother, was visibly upset about something that happened right before you guys came back. Are you aware of anything like that? Or it's just
yeah, but it falls into the rumor mill.
Oh, okay.
So I could tell you based on what the word on the street was, but it may not have any real credence.
Okay. Tell me what you felt about.
And so on the street, they were saying that Hunter was supposed to be examined, give his testimony, and he refused, but that may not be true.
Okay.
So basically, when they cut at 11:30, they were supposed to come back, I think, around 1. Then it ended up being later in the afternoon, and then it was all said and done. Carmelo didn't take the stand, neither did Hunter.
Okay, so it's possible that maybe that she wanted Carmelo to testify, or she wanted Hunter to be there to tell what happened, and it didn't happen. That's why she was so upset.
Correct.
Okay.
Who knows? Not totally sure.
Okay, because I heard about that. Yeah.
See, the thing about this case is, and believe me, I like going to cases. If there's something I see weird, that I become an advocate. I try to stay away from that, and not a real advocate, but I would probably start saying more, right?
Start leaning.
Yeah, start leaning. But in this particular case, the dominant factor was getting the knife into a school atmosphere. And based on that, to me, the case has hair on it now. Like even if let's look at it from the other angle, right? So he brought the knife in. Let's say he didn't bring a knife at all. And he's sitting under their tent. Eddie, he knew him. They showed us 10 days prior, him and Eddie were sitting together at the previous track meet. And they brought up the pictures. Eddie tried to deny it, but they showed it, right?
Eddie was a cold turkey.
Right.
Eddie's gonna live to regret this.
Cold turkey, bro.
So let's say Eddie. Let's say that. Let's say Carmelo didn't have the knife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now you have these guys saying, "What are you doing here?" Eddie testified. This is the key point. Eddie said that Carmelo said first you a bitch, right? And then Austin said back to him, you're a bitch, okay? All
Okay.
right. So then the Shook, Toby Shook says, do you know you testified something different at the time of the incident? He said at that time you testified that I'm going to move your bitch ass up out of here. And Carmelo says, well, move my bitch ass then. See, that's different.
Of course, it's a
Yeah.
difference.
You
Yeah.
see what I mean? So let's go back and let's unpack it, right? I already told you that Carmelo was sitting low. It's testified by all of them that he never stood up. 5'7", 130 pounds. And Austin is 220, roughly 6'1", and a linebacker. And the
Yeah.
boy testified. He came in there, and I showed you guys before. He grabbed some. He had on a gray hoodie. He grabbed him like this, did a football move. The boy named the football move. He was trying to move him up. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So, under that circumstance, what do you want him to do? Based on all the people out there, what would be the ideal thing? To take a beating?
That's what they.
Because it looks at this point, he got two twins closing in. You know, he got two big twins there, all the guys or whatever. So, what do you want him to do? You want the boy to take a beating?
Of course,
I think that's what everybody want to see.
no, of course, because he's a black young man. Of course, they wanted him to get his ass whooped. But
Or run, or he needs to run, right?
no. Okay, but he couldn't run because he had a hold of his sweat, so he couldn't run, right? So here's the thing. Now let's just reverse it and say that it was a young white male that was sitting there, and you have two black men, two black, or 6'2" some guy grab that young white male by the chest and stuff and try to move him. Then it's a problem though, right? Then oh yeah, he shouldn't have touched him. Yeah, he shouldn't have. Oh, he feared for his life. Oh, he is standing your ground in Texas. You see how that's reversed. You see how this reversed. The kid wasn't doing anything. He was sitting there. Now again.
Oh, that's it. Hold on. Classy has it. He did a lineman drill. That's what it is. A lineman. He did a lineman drill on
Like one of
Carmelo.
those bench press extensions.
That's in court. That's in court. I guarantee you that's in court. A lineman drill. That's the way he grabbed Carmelo. So in the ideal world, he should have gotten that drill. That's all I can tell you. Based on what people are saying.
One of the things I would respectfully disagree with you keep saying is that he brought a poker to the school. It wasn't a poker. It was a multi-utility. It was. That's what it's called. I'm not the one that said it. You the one that told me what it was. I personally thought he bought a box cutter or he bought a blade. You the one that told me it was a 6-piece multi-utility nicer. So it wasn't as if he brought a poker there to actually do harm. He actually brought something that he goes camping and everything that was in his bag.
You're right. It was a listen, the defense said it was a multi-purpose tool.
But that's what I'm saying. So we can't just go.
The prosecution said it was a knife. So
but you can't. But it's unfair to say that because did you get a chance to see it? You saw it, and
I had a chance to see it. Yeah, of course. I saw the photo. I saw it, but it had blood on it. I saw it.
So. Exactly. So for them to say that he brought a knife, and this is what a lot of the people online are pushing. Oh, he shouldn't have brought a knife. He shouldn't have brought a knife. He did not bring a knife. He brought a multi-purpose tool. That's what he brought. Now it happened to have a knife and he used it. Let's talk.
Austin, hold on. Austin started it. Well, some say Hunter started
it. Hunter started it really initially, and then Austin entered the fray. Really, that's what they really say is that Hunter initially started it, and then Austin entered the fray with everything else. So he's the one that actually got physical with him, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
but they say Hunter actually started it. And then a lot of the witnesses changed their testimonies because at first they were saying things about Austin, but in court they changed their testimonies about Hunter.
But Hunter actually did a very early interview in which he said it was him that went to get his brother, and he felt guilty because he's the reason why his brother unalive. He did a very early interview where he told what happened, and we have recording on that. But I want people to be very careful.
Hold on 1 second. Wait a minute, Jasper. Listen to me. You gotta, if you want to be here in peace, you need to come in peace. All right. Number one, you probably just came in. If you had been here tonight, you would know that I haven't said such a thing. So you need to chill out or leave. All right. We're not going to have it tonight. I'm here for it. All right. You got to chill out with the nonsense. I'm not here for it tonight. This is serious. People are losing their lives. You got to chill out.
Exactly. We have an adult conversation. What we're saying is that if it was a case in the reverse, you guys would have wanted, because this is the first time I'm hearing that it's a purpose tool. If it was your family member that was on trial, you would want it to be called what it was. It wasn't a knife. A knife to me is a full blade.
Listen to me. I saw this thing, right?
He was in court.
It was a knife. Believe me.
It's still a knife at the end of the day. It
It's
has a knife on it.
You're gonna make yourself look crazy. Listen.
But it still has a knife on it, even if it's a multi-purpose tool. They got a screwdriver.
That's not how you win the case.
It doesn't matter. Listen to me very carefully. We need to be factual here.
I gave you the facts. I told you. I'm the one that told you it was a multi-purpose tool.
That's all I'm saying. So I'm not saying it didn't have a knife on it, but I'm saying that we need to call it what it was. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not a knife. When I heard that it was a knife, I'm thinking that he brought a full long blade, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's what I thought. Yeah. You were the first one that came and told me it was a multiple purpose tool. I never heard that before.
I thought it was just a knife. Then some people were saying it was a cleat sharpener. There was many things that was circling around.
I'm not trying to say that it didn't have a knife in it. I'm just saying that we need to call it what it is. If you wanted to call it a multi-purpose knife, then I'm fine. I just want to say if we want to be factual, we need to make sure we call it what it is.
So let me give it to
like a Swiss Army knife. Like a Swiss Army knife.
I thought it was a Swiss Army knife. I thought he brought a knife from the kitchen. I had all kinds. You're the first one that told me it was a multi-purpose tool.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying though.
Yes.
If a person came to you in New York in the alley and put it up to you, the last thing you're gonna say was a multi-purpose tool. So we could be definite about it. Oh, it's a multi-purpose tool, but don't fool yourself, because if you try to play it as a multi-purpose tool, people are not going to take you seriously, and they're going to say, "Oh, it's a play on words." I'm just trying to.
To be honest with you, I don't care what people say. I'm telling you, I had one of those. I'm telling you, I used to carry one of those all the time, Mel. I had one.
I get it.
And I told you when I was in the military, when I was in the Marine, I had one. So I know exactly what I'm saying. I'm telling you, as of today, you're the first one that brought it to my attention that it was even a multiple purpose tool. I'm saying if you want to call it knife at all, you could call it knife, but it's being unfair by saying it's knife, because a lot of people are thinking that this young man,
the intention of why he was carrying it at all.
He brought in an actual knife and put it in the bag. That's what I'm saying. I'm just putting it out there. You don't have to say it multiple times. You could say it one time, but I wanted to be clear that it wasn't just a full-on blade. He didn't bring a knife from the kitchen. He didn't bring one. That's what I'm saying. We just want to make sure that it's clear. We just say it one time and we move on. At the end of the day, he did take the knife out of this tool and he used it, but I just want to make sure that people understand that in my mind, I thought he brought a knife. That's what I thought, to be honest with you. You're the first one that told me it was something else. That's what I'm saying. But go ahead, Mel. You were saying. I'm interrupting you again, as usual.
No, I mean, I just don't want you to, because that's where it gets tricky, because the prosecutor said a knife, the defense says a multi-purpose tool, and I told you that's what they say, but it gets a little tricky because when they pull it out and they show you that blade, it looks like, the knife is dominant. So I just want to make that very clear, because when you just say, oh, it's just a tool, then people are not going to take you seriously.
Well, it's a multiple purpose knife, but I want to make sure that we understand that it's not a blade, it's not a switchblade, and it's not a kitchen knife.
Right, correct.
So you're showing that to the intention of why he could possibly have it at all, is what you're saying.
That he could have had it because they said that he was a camper and he had it.
He could have had multiple reasons.
There's been a lot of cases, and again, I know this is New York and not Texas. There's been a lot of cases where officers actually arrested various people with those very same thing, and they were released, right? And their case was dropped because it was legal size.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's been a lot of cases like that. So I'm not talking as if I'm just someone who's in the street, don't know what the hell she's talking about. I've had years of experiences in these various cases. All right. So he should not have brought that tool or that knife to the school. That gave him a disadvantage, right? Because it shows that they want to make it as if it's intent. But if he did bring something that he used for court, I mean, for that he used for camp, right? That is not, he doesn't normally use it as an intimidation to knife, right? He didn't intentionally do it, and he was sitting there minding his business, and the guys came towards him and grabbed him by the shirt to pick him up, right, to escort him and do that football move to escort him out because he didn't want to leave. That is stand your ground. That is self-defense, and he should have been able to prove that during his trial, right? And there should have been at least another besides a first degree.
Okay, so let me challenge you since you want to be so sharp, and this is how we do it.
Okay, challenge.
You said he grabbed him to take him out. How do you know that? How do you know he wasn't just going to bust his butt?
Okay, so I thank you for saying
So
that.
since you want to be so sharp on your words, so let
maybe
me challenge you a little bit. Go
maybe
ahead.
he didn't want to take him out. Maybe he wanted to slap him up. That's still stand your ground. That's still stand your ground. No matter his intent was to slap him up, teach him a lesson, move him, kiss him, hug him, whatever.
Maybe he wanted to body slam him on his head. What do you think about that?
That's still stand your ground territory. All of that is stand your ground territory.
No, not according to the thousands of people that come through complaining. That's not stand your ground. You're supposed to run. That's what they say.
Really? In Texas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's look at the stand your ground rules in Texas since because we're talking about Texas. We ain't talking about other states. We ain't talking about Jersey, New York, or the blue states or some of that. We talking about Texas.
We ain't talking about Brooklyn.
I'm not talking about Brooklyn. I'm talking about Texas. I'm
talking about like it's a different ball game over there.
Different ball game, right?
I fought against the stand your ground Texas.
There's many things we can bring up though. You know what I mean? He was sitting the whole time.
I'm part of a group called Moms Demand Action for Mom Demand Action Against Gun Violence, right? One of my two huge friends with the first chapter of Moms Demand Action was New York. The second chapter was Texas. We are the two longest chapters. And
Shadow brought up the penal code. Shadow Titan Wasp brought up the penal code. Shout out.
So I went to Texas there, and I know how hard these Texas mom fought against the open carry in Texas and the stand your ground rules in Texas because they felt it was just too lax to allow unaliving of innocent people. So Texas, you could have a stand your ground in almost any case when it comes to Texas, just like open carry in Texas. It's not too many ways not to have your stand your ground. So what I want us to do is look at the rules and regulations of Texas, stand your ground Texas to prove to me that I'm wrong, that he did not have a case on stand your ground after this kid assaulted him. That's what I want us to do. Let's see.
Okay, so before you do that, I want to tell you this key point. Okay, when Karmelo took the backpack off his back and he put it in his lap and he put his hand in the bag, okay, in his backpack, and they're going back and forth, and all of the witnesses are saying that Karmelo says, well, you know, you keep messing with me, you're going to find out. That's the spirit of what he was saying. Keep up it, and you're going to find out. You're going to, I don't want to put it that way because people use that FAF, or I don't want to put it that way. But you're going to find out, right? Okay? That's where they said, that's where the premeditation comes in because he knows he has a knife.
Okay.
And in that split second, he knows that what he can do with it. Yes. And he tells the guy at this point, if you come over, I'm going to use it on you. And that's where they gave him that murder one. This is what is being said. So I just want you to understand that.
So we want to read the
he was being pressured. He was being pressed. I don't think he really went in that tent to start trouble, though. You know what I mean? I don't think that he went there for that.
Remember what I said.
Eddie was a cold turkey.
Remember what I said about Texas Stand Your Ground. Remember the fact that I've been with this organization for many years as an advocate fighting various gun laws. And remember what I said about Texas being the most lax when it comes to stand your ground, right? I remember I said that, right? So why don't we just read why don't we just
right, Classy? That was the warning. See what I mean? That's where they got him on that murder one.
The warning? Yeah, okay. Can we read what Texas stand your ground allows? Can we
Which
do that?
one? You want 931 or 932? This is 931. This is the self-defense that I pulled up. So I think 932 is it, right, Shadow? I think 932 is talking about the standing ground, if I'm not mistaken. Shadow, he's from Texas as well.
Okay.
So he knows a lot about the criminal system.
Okay, you have the penal. You showing the penal code?
Am I showing the right one or no?
This is the self-defense. This is the self-defense one. If you want to go through this, We kid.
So this is the other one.
Well,
Which one?
this is the one I was showing. This is the one
Okay.
I'm aware of. Do we want to read that one? What it says right here?
Okay. Texas does not have a standalone stand your ground law. Instead, the state law modifies the traditional duty to retreat under Texas Penal Code, Chapter 9. You are legally justified to use force in self-defense without the obligation to flee, providing that you have a legal right to be there, do not provoke the attack, and were not engaged in criminal activities.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
And that's what we fought against. We fought against the fact that gave that open. I'm telling you, we as an organization fought against that for years because we felt that opened up the opportunity for anybody to use any reason to unalive somebody when it comes to pew violence. If you remove the law to retreat, right? If you remove the obligation to retreat, then that league gives a person a right to unalive anybody even if they feel fear. So we fought against that law. That's why I'm saying that I'm very surprised that people are talking about Texas and talking about that there's no stand your ground obligation when Texas is the key example of why stand your grounds is used all the time down there. And the only reason why they didn't use it in this case is because it's a young black male and they want to railroad him. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He was there legally because he was invited by Eddie, right? He didn't provoke the fight because he was sitting down. There was nothing in that law that should not have been used in his case. You guys are crazy. I'm reading it verbatim. Verbatim. Go ahead, Mel. Go ahead, Udo on the go. Go ahead.
I think that's a lot. What did the defense do though? You know what I mean? Was the defense pushing to stand your ground or what? Because they saying that he was saying touch me again. And you know what I'm saying? It's many multiple things that's being said. He's saying touch me again.
Touch me again is not provoked. He provoked.
I don't think he was provoking. I don't think that he went there to provoke it. I don't believe that.
If we want to bring it up again, we could read it. Do you want to bring
I don't believe that. And he didn't have to leave. He didn't have to leave.
He didn't have to leave. He didn't provoke nowhere. And I'm saying, according to Texas stand your ground law, I'm talking about Texas. I'm not talking about any other state. If we were talking about any other state, we would have different rules and criteria and obligation. Texas specifically removed the obligation in order to give people the right to defend themselves on any grounds whatsoever. We did not like it. I did not like it. I used to argue about stand your ground all the time. But you're going to now not allow this young 17-year-old kid to use that in his defense and tell me that he didn't have the right? Come on, guys.
Okay, so hold on, wait a minute. I just need to understand what you're saying, right?
Okay. You want to bring it back up?
So no, I don't need any of that. I sat in the court case every day. I understand a lot about this case. Explain to me, give me your best argument as to why he had a knife at school. A multi-purpose tool that had a knife, whatever way you want to frame it. How are you going to get around that to defend the guy? That's what I want to know.
I wouldn't even have brought that up in the first place as a defense of the guy.
No. I'm not talking. Forget about that. I'm asking you because you can't sit here. You can't sit here and focus on self-defense without answering why he had a knife in a school environment.
You already said it. You said that he was a camper and he used to go to camp all the time. So I would explain it as he was carrying a tool. He probably forgot it was there because he just probably came from camping or having some kind of recreation activity and he had it there. He didn't have any intent to go there to unalive somebody. It wasn't intent to actually stick it in the bag and say, "Oh, I'm gonna find some white kid at a track meet and unalive him because I have nothing better to do." I would have said it wasn't his bad because he did other activities. He probably forgot it there, right? But then when he felt intimidated, he was like, "Oh, I got something, and I'm telling you guys to leave me alone." You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you guys I'm feeling intimidated. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. That's how I would have done it. And I would have said that he felt in fear of his life. And as a result of Texas standing ground, that he has a right to attack if he was provoked, right?
Right.
That's what I would have done.
So let me ask you this, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to understand. I had to fly to get to Dallas.
Yes.
I'm a fisherman. They did say in court that Karmelo enjoyed camping. It came out. Okay, it's one of the things. Okay, so I enjoy fishing. I go through the airport and I have the same tool on me. Are they going to let me get through?
They're not going to let you get through. They're going to take it away from you, right? So
Okay,
this is
because it's hold on, because it's prohibited, correct?
because it's prohibited, right? Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Now,
how many
let's say
times
for
have
instance, hold
people?
on, wait a minute. We
Go
got to
ahead,
we got to line this up.
tell
We
me.
got to line this up the same
Okay, go ahead.
way.
Just make me
So
remember.
so I have gone through the detector and I got to the other side and I'm like, "Oh shoot. How did I get this through there?" You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say on my way to this trial, I get beyond the metal detectors with my knife.
Uh-huh.
Something happens inside the airport, and let's say two husky twins are coming after me, and I take one out.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to be able to explain that away? How are you going to be able? What I'm saying is, how are you going to be able to get around having a knife where it's prohibited?
We're not arguing the prohibited part, but if you would
You have to argue the
say
prohibited
that
part.
I mistakenly, just like a lot of different people who brings pew pews on airports, airplanes, right? You
Yeah.
see that they bring them into the airport, right? And a lot of them do not get charged with a felony carry, right? If they illegally carry, right? They will get the weapon taken away from them. They probably will go to court, but they don't get put in jail, right? For actually bringing pew pews into the airport, right? Only if you're a felon and you're not allowed to have a pew pew, that's when you go do trial. But how many times have people brought their pew pew to the airport and none of them is serving time in jail? So that does not explain to me why this young man, because he brought a knife on a prohibited area, right? He couldn't use stand your ground. That's not how it works. Like there's people that does that all the time.
Okay. Let's this person is saying let's read the penal code 9.32. Did
Me
you have
too.
that up? Did you have
I'm
that
gonna
up,
pull it
Buddha?
up right now. I'm
Yeah,
up to
please
the
bring
All
it.
right,
penal.
let's thank you to Sean. Appreciate that. Let's check it out.
Hold
Yes.
on. I'm gonna
The
pull it up
reason
now.
why I'm asking you, we can work through this. I just want to understand how you're coming to this conclusion.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you
All
for
right.
asking me.
Most people are not used to our show, but this is what we do. So,
Yeah.
sometimes it's by design, but tonight this is real talk.
This
So,
is
I warned him I was
932.
gonna be hot. I told him I was gonna be hot. I told him already. I warned him I
you
was gonna.
know, listen, we did a debate. I was pro Trump. She was against Trump. That's our biggest show so far.
Yes.
Do you know that? Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know it was our
No.
biggest show.
Oh yeah.
That's our biggest show
Oh
today.
well,
When I was pro Trump and you was when I was
we
just
need to
having a
do that
debate
again.
with you. Yeah.
And she
We
was
need.
kicking Trump back in.
Yeah, we need to do that again. We
I
need to.
cooked. Hey, I cooked her too, man. I cooked
Yeah.
her,
Oh,
man.
she pissed me. He pissed me. I was
I
yelling. I
she
was
fell
yelling at
No.
apart.
him.
I
I was
cooked her.
No.
mad. Oh, I was mad at him.
All right. So when you're ready, I'll pull up that
Yes,
that
please.
I
code.
got it there. It's in the background.
Yeah, let's read it, please. Let's read it. I want to see what it says.
Okay. Detective Penal Code 932, deadly force in the defense of a person. A person is justified in using deadly force against another. If the actor would be justified in using force against the other under section 931, and when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes that the deadly force is immediately necessary. A, to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful deadly force, or B, to prevent the other's imminent commission of aggravated kidnapping, unaliving, actual assault, aggravated actual assault, robbery, or aggravated robbery. B, the actor's belief under subsection A2 that the deadly force was immediately necessary as described by the subdivision is presumed to be reasonable if the actor, one, knew or had reason to believe that the person against whom the deadly force was used was unlawfully with force entered or was attempted to enter unlawfully and with force the actor's occupied habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment, unlawfully and with force removed, or was attempting to remove unlawfully with force the actor from the actor's habitation, vehicle, or place in business of employment, or was committing or attempting to commit an offense described by subsection A to B, did not provoke the person against whom the force was used, and was not otherwise engaged in criminal activity other than a Class C misdemeanor that is a violation of the law or ordinance regulating traffic at the time the force was used. A person who has the right to be present at a location where the deadly force is used, who has not provoked the person against whom the deadly force is used, and who is not engaged in criminal activity at the time the deadly force is used, is not required to retreat before using the deadly force as described by this section. D, for purposes of the subsection A2 in determining whether an actor described by subsection C reasonably believes that the use of the deadly force was necessary, a finder of fact may not consider whether the actor failed to retreat.
All right, so there you have it right there. The right to be there. That's how they open up the opening argument, saying that he had no right to be under their tent.
But that's not true, though. That
Oh
part is not.
God.
No, that part is not true.
You can't pick and choose what facts
I'm telling you that part.
you want to accept. You know what I mean?
No, the deadly force is based on interpretation. So I'm going to stick on that one because I believe that he felt that his life was being threatened. That's my opinion. But I'm saying to you, Mel, they're saying that Eddie invited him there.
Eddie don't own a tent.
No, that's not. No.
And in court, that's not.
I did not say that. Hold on. The rolling the eyes is going to be a problem with me, bro. Because I'm not rolling
okay,
my
come on. We got.
I'm
this
telling
is
you
a
right
new
now,
person. This is a.
eyes. No, I don't care.
Hold on,
rolling the eyes
brother. Focus on me. Focus on me.
I'm telling you right
now. Okay, you better know who I am.
No, you better know who I am. You better research me.
It's not gonna go the way you think it's gonna go.
No, it is.
I don't know why you being aggressive. I said nothing to you.
Let's not derail.
Okay.
Let's not derail. Let's bring it back.
Let's
bring it back.
Okay,
bring it back.
Let's reset. Let's reset.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Introduce yourself.
Right,
introduce yourself, brother.
Before you introduce this rolling the eye person, I'm saying to you that you said to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, right? Or at least I mentioned to you, and you did not disagree, that he was invited. This is what I've been told. I said that very early on, that he was invited there, and he sat by Eddie, and he dapped Eddie, and he sat next to him.
Okay, so let me clear this up for you. Hold on, it's misinformation.
Yes,
in court. Hold on. In court, it said that he knew Eddie, so that's why he went there. His parents are saying today on video that he was invited by Eddie. That was not in court. Okay, so let's get that. Fine. I'm just telling you the facts of what's in court.
I didn't make it up though, right? Because I heard, and I'm basing my assessment based on everything I heard. I heard that he was a friend of Eddie because Eddie was like either he or Eddie dated a former.
Okay, but listen, the point. Hold on, the point right now.
So hold on. If he was invited, then he felt that he could have been there.
He wasn't invited. The point right now is, did he have the right to be under the tent, right? And based on what we're just arguing whether Eddie invited him or not, and all of this, and the answer in court is no. And even in court, Eddie did not invite him in court. I'm just telling you what was in court. All right.
Okay. I'm just
all
saying.
Right. So, but the parents said on their video when they were recorded last night, the father said that Eddie had invited him to the tent. I'm just strictly trying to help you to understand what's in court. All right, introduce yourself, brother, and tell us what's happening. What's your thoughts?
Hey, brother, how you doing, man? I appreciate you for bringing me up, bro. Miss Fantastic 824, bro. And just listening to you guys, you was live, and it came across my feed. So I've been listening here for probably about 10, 15 minutes, and just again, man, there's a lot of emotionality in this stuff, and a lot of coulda, shoulda, woulda, and speculation, as you just said, right? And thank you, brother, for knowing and, like you said, following the case. The problem is we got a lot of black people that's giving emotional opinion and what they feel, and they want to go against what the Texas law says. There are several instances of not only the law, but you got to understand that the jury here has the ultimate say-so and the ultimate interpretation of what it is. So when you have an affluent community where nothing like this ever happens, and a boy gets stabbed over a push, it's going to be hard in an affluent neighborhood, in an affluent community, all right? it's going to be hard to convince those people that it's normal or it's reasonable, right? And I would like to think, especially us as parents, would agree with that premise. And it's bothering me so much that everybody's trying to justify a child stabbing another child. Both of them were 17 when this happened, right? So these are 2 kids. And unless we're going to make the precedent and we're saying that it's okay and we're defending for a child to kill another child over a push, boys, we know boys fight, boys push, boys do all these things, right? And now the proper response to being pushed by one person, everybody keeps talking about them and they, there is no them and they. All of the testimony by, including, this is another thing that everybody keeps talking about. Everybody's talking about, oh, it was an all-white jury, which is another lie. It wasn't an all-white jury that just didn't have black jurors, but the testimony was given by several black students. This is a track meet. Who are the fastest, usually the fastest people? So who was around? So everybody want to talk about Eddie and blame Eddie, but nobody's pointing out that there were other black students that were interviewed. And pretty much even when the defense started doing their defense, they said, I don't necessarily say their star witness, one of the main witnesses said, they felt like Karmelo was the aggressor and they felt like Karmelo was in the wrong. So are you guys saying that the black students that testified and said Karmelo was in the wrong, they're lying too? That's what it's crazy to me how we keep trying to make this thing racial when this is the only reason people are trying to down this ridiculous hill. If you had a child and he got into an altercation with another kid, do you think it would be all right for him to kill another kid over being pushed? Or would you want him killed over fucking him pushing somebody else? I'm sorry for the language, my brother. I'm sorry about that. But would you want him killed over pushing somebody? I think any reasonable person, again, remember, the key word here is reasonable. Any reasonable adult would be like, no, that is extremely unreasonable for someone to be murdered over a push. All of this, did he have the right to be there? The end result is the ultimate outcome, right? He had no right to kill him over the force that was exerted against him. The other person had no weapon. The other person wasn't pummeling him or on top of him or mounting him or anything. There was simple contact, and then someone was killed almost instantaneously. That's the problem. That's the facts of the matter. That's the facts of the case. And when you line it up with Texas Penal Code, it fits murder. Premeditation came and it's a folding knife. So he reaches his hand in the bag, as you said, sir, and you say, hey, you're warning someone. So now you had a determination. You're the only one that know you got a knife, right? You can choose to use or choose not to use the knife. Even though he had the knife, he never had to use it. Nobody's even talking about that, right? Yeah. But he chose to use the knife.
As far as the witnesses go, though, fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It seems like witnesses was changing stories.
Nobody changed their story, bro. Don't tell that lie. No one changed their story. No one changed. The only person that changed their story was the defense, brother. The only person that changed
that too. No, that person did that too. But I'm just saying,
what person did what too?
Like on the
name
scene.
the prosecutor witness that was shown to be not consistent. Name
I'm just saying listen, because even some people were saying that Hunter wasn't there, or Hunter
Eddie wasn't inconsistent.
Hunter said at the scene.
He said that wasn't his friend. Why did he?
It's not his friend. It's not his friend.
Hold on, one at a time. Hold on, one at a time.
It's not his friend. It's not his friend. It's not his friend. It's another fabrication y'all are making up. And he simply said it. He said, "Hey, look, I'm not cool with him. I'm cool with a person that he used to be cool with." That happens all the time. There are plenty of
Eddie.
Why do you have to change his
hold on, guys. One at a time. Hold on,
why
brother.
Do you have to change it when they show the picture? That's what I'm asking.
Hold on 1 second. Let me talk to him. All right.
They didn't show the picture?
Hold on.
I didn't answer my question. Mel, sorry.
Oh God, let her go. Let her go. Get your question out. Go ahead.
A picture. Did they show him a picture? Did he change his testimony saying that yes, he knew him after they showed the picture?
Of course.
He never said he didn't know him. No, stop. No. See. Well, I'm going to tell you. So
I'm answering your question.
Okay. Well, let me answer it. You keep talking. Let me answer it.
Answer the question. I'll shut up.
Well. I literally can't do it if you won't shut up.
Okay, I'll shut up now. Answer the question.
So, shut up.
I will once you answer the question.
Well, shut up. That means you got to stop talking. Stop talking. So stop talking.
Okay, guys, hold on. One at a time.
Stop talking.
Hold on. Answer the question.
So shut up.
I will.
Shut up.
Once you answer
we got to knock it off.
Shut the hell up.
Once you answer the
question. Shut up.
Once you ask,
We can do this all night. Shut up. Shut the hell up, then. Shut the hell up. Stop talking and I'll talk. Shut up.
Are you going to answer the question?
All right, so we can't have this, guys. We got to keep it together. All right, so let's just reset here. Let me address him because I was about to deal with him. It's not going to get through with you and him. All right, so just let me deal with him for a minute. All right, so go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, so
I got this.
No, what was your question, brother? Go ahead.
No, I don't really have a question. You were asking a question.
Oh yeah, so no, I was going to say, but I was responding to Uda, and then whatever this is over here, right?
Oh, okay.
So the thing is this, right? Eddie never changed his story. Eddie didn't change his story. What they did was they claimed the defense tried to claim that Eddie was his friend. They showed several pictures of them being around each other and being in the same area, and he was just like, yeah, we were around each other whenever the girl that I'm friends with was involved. It's a third party association. It happens all the time. He said he's not my friend. He never said he didn't know him. He said it's not his friend.
Okay, I got it. So were you in the courtroom?
No, I wasn't in the courtroom.
Okay, I was in the courtroom. All right. So let me explain to you that you're wrong. And I'm not trying to make an enemy with you, but I'm going to tell you, Eddie changed his story. We also had a girl that came in for the prosecution. She was lying. She admitted on the stand that she was lying. So you can't come up here telling me what I saw in court. You got to cool it down a little bit. Eddie came in and said that Karmelo called Austin a bitch, and then Austin called him a bitch back, right? Toby Shook says, well, close to this time, when this incident happened, you testified differently. And he testified at that time that Austin said, we're going to move your bitch ass up out of here. And that's when Karmelo said back to him, move my bitch ass. This is in court. So you can't come up here telling me what I saw and what I observed in court. Okay, I was in court. So you got to, there was a defense witness that changed their story, but there was also people on the prosecution side that changed their story too.
Okay, so can I respond? So again, that wasn't I was talking about what she said, or what she claimed is that he said he didn't know her, right? Did I say anything about that? I specifically said that he never said that he didn't know him. Did he say that? You were in court. Did he say that?
He downplayed the fact that he
no, sir. I'm asking. So no. Just like you held me to task, I'm gonna ask you the question directly again. Did Eddie ever say he did not know Karmelo Anthony?
No, he never said.
All right then. So if we're gonna stick to what's actually said, although I wasn't in the courtroom, I went by the live updates of official CBS News updates of what was being said, right? And that was being liberated to the public.
I went by what I saw and heard in court.
Got you. Cool. Fine. I'm not. So again, I never refuted what you said because I don't know that. I never said that. I said he didn't lie about knowing him.
So let's
now that you. So hold on. So can we just get that straight for the record? Because I never brought up any of the stuff you saying.
People were changing their stories. Even the prosecution side of those same witnesses that you're talking about.
Okay,
so something that's true. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. So my bad. Go ahead, host.
Yeah.
She muted. Whatever she's saying, we can't hear her. She's talking a lot. Nobody can hear her.
No. Listen, I'm appreciating the bill with you, right? So it's all good.
Yeah, brother. It's your show. I don't, brother. It's I just want the same thing, like you said. If I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong, but just tell me I'm wrong about what I actually said. I never claimed that. I didn't know what you said. Like you said, I knew none of those details. Like you said, I wasn't in the courtroom. Okay. I only refuted that he never said that he didn't know Karmelo, and that was a claim that was put upon. And you just confirmed that was never said.
No, I thought you said to Uda that it was only a person in the defense that changed their story or had a discrepancy. So if that's not the case, or whatever,
that's the person. That's the person I knew of. I said that's the person I knew of for a fact. And if I'm correct, I think they said that person's one of the defense witnesses' entire testimony was struck. Right?
I'm sorry. Say it one more time. One of the what?
One of the defense witnesses' testimony was struck from the record. Correct?
I would have to. I don't recall.
That was reported. That's what was reported by the news. And if he was there, he should know. He should be aware.
The struck from the record. Which one?
Well, I think I don't know which one. I just know they said that they had to strike some of the testimony of one of the defense witnesses.
It's the same, the same witness that they had that had issues with, the one you're probably referring to.
Yeah, the defense witness though, correct?
Defense witness, yes.
So what I'm saying,
that's the one they had trouble with.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is to the prosecution witness, to my knowledge, no prosecution's witness testimony was struck.
It wasn't struck because it's favorable to the prosecution. She came into court, she lied about the whole event. The defense had her admit that she lied. She claimed that she saw them saying, Austin and Karmelo saying that they were gonna, I'm gonna beat you at the track game, I'm gonna outrun you. And then basically when the stabbing happened, she didn't see it. Anyway, it came out that she was lying in court. They didn't strike her. She should have been struck or perjured. I don't know. But look it up. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's a female, roughly. She's going off to college now.
Okay.
So that happened. So anyway, now it's you and her. We're gonna stay out of it, but please.
Well, sir, I'm having decorum. I'm not with nobody. I'm not going to be bullied by nobody. Like I'm not bullied in real life. I'm not about to be bullied on the internet. I can do this all night.
I get it.
I wanted to say one thing. I could do it for tomorrow.
You can't. You can not with me. You can't.
I promise you, I can.
Yeah, I promise you can't.
I promise you I can't.
You don't have the win, ma'am.
I do.
You don't have the win. You don't have the skin. It's not gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. But I'm gonna be the bigger and more mature person and just let you talk and save you from yourself. And save you from yourself because you don't know what. Forgive you, Lord, because you don't know not what you do.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait.
Take a moment and Google me, sir.
Hold on.
Google me.
There's nothing to Google.
Listen. Now
I'm looking at 310.
We are affecting the people that are watching the show. You got to chill out now. I'm serious. You just got to. No, it's not about him. Talk about the. Listen. Do you realize what's happening right now?
Let him reset the Let him reset it.
I want to clear my statement up. I made a statement that I didn't say nothing about he didn't know it. I made a statement that I heard that Eddie was his friend. He said that Eddie was not his friend.
Let's move on. What I'm saying, we got to move on from this. We got to move.
Mel,
people are watching. The numbers are going.
Mel, you allowed him to clear it up. I'm saying that I said that Eddie was his friend. He said that Eddie's not his friend. I am willing to give him that if I have this, if he's saying, if we have that information. I was told, I'm making my assessment based on what I read of the trial and what I was told. I was told that Eddie was his friend.
That's correct. That's correct.
Eddie, hold on. Before I land my plane, that there was a picture of him and Eddie at the track meet a week before that led me to believe that was his friend and they knew each other. That's why he went into that area. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And if it's untrue, then it's untrue. That's
what no. That is true. 10 days prior, they showed that they were hanging out together at the track meet on the field. Eddie denied it. The defense showed the photo on the screen. They were friends. Eddie was not honest about it. They took us all the way back to 2023. Karmelo was around Eddie's grandmother. There was photos of them playing video games in a bedroom together, just the two of them. The list goes on and on. I saw at least 7 or 8 photos, so they were friends. I wouldn't buy it because I was in the courtroom and I saw it that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think they was going on double dates and all type of stuff. I think his girlfriend was related or something, the cousin and all type of thing, right?
I don't have anything else to say but that. That's all. That's the only point I was trying to make.
Eddie was a job turkey, bro.
So did the defense ever prove that they were friends? Was it proven by the defense that they were indeed friends?
Absolutely, man.
They were going on double dates together and all type of stuff. Fantastic.
Since 2023.
Well, again,
I think a girl that they said that a girl that Karmelo was seeing, he was supposed to be
the girlfriend. The girlfriend was close friends with him. He wasn't close friends with him.
His cousin was.
So again, yeah. So I mean, I've seen it as to where I'm familiar with someone that's familiar with someone, and we're not friends. We're associates. I don't think just because you associate with somebody that makes you a friend.
I promise you that wasn't the case. That was not
Okay.
the case.
If y'all say it, and you're saying that it's the other way around, I'm just going by what Eddie said was the case. If Eddie's lying and it was proved that Eddie was lying, okay, cool. Eddie was lying. But I don't either way it goes, right? Yeah. Is that enough? Is Eddie's testimony about him being friends or not going to override him stabbing somebody in the chest?
No.
All right then. So what's the point? What's the relevance of it?
Can I address that point? You came in 15 to 10 minutes earlier, so I think you have the misconception of what we're saying, right? We said from the very beginning the unalivement of Austin was wrong. I said that I am a survivor, meaning that I lost a nephew due to gun violence, so I feel for the family. We're not talking about that. I even said I'm not litigating the case that happened. I think it was bullshit. I want to talk about the appeal. I don't think that he had right defense, right? I don't think they fought hard enough for him as a defendant. I said I wish they had the Mann Act, because I don't think he intentionally went there to unalive the kid. I said I would have been able to accept 5 years from the unalivement. I said, I'm not sure. I'm telling you what I said, sir. You came in 10, 15 minutes thinking that I wanted to be out walking free. I said that we should have considered the stand your ground. I said at the very least they should have removed him from that area and given him a fair trial in another area so that we know that it was a fair trial. I was giving different reasons. I think that the trial itself, I'm talking about the trial itself. I'm not talking about the act of unalignment.
Yeah, but why are we
talking about the trial itself? I felt it was unfair. That's
how though? So that would be my question. So how is the county in which he had where the offense was committed? And again, people do this all the time. Most cases are tried where that we just had, like I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Julio Fulio case, right? It was a rapper in Florida, right? Yeah. The people were from Jacksonville, but the case happened that the actual offense happened in Tampa. They had the case in Tampa.
I'm not saying that that's not the case, sir.
Yeah.
I'm saying that
I'm just saying that's the normal procedure. So why are we automatically assuming that he wouldn't get a fair trial if it's going by normal procedure? And then they tried to go through it and ask for, what do you call it? What do you call it? When you want to change jurisdiction, when they requested to change the jurisdiction, right?
That all the time. And even if, and I'm not saying that they always change the jurisdiction. I'm saying the defense was faulty for not even trying to bring that up. I'm saying the defense of Karmelo Anthony, no matter what the case was, he did not have the proper defense. That's what I'm saying.
That's who his family chose. That's who his family paid. That's his family's fault. If you
change the venue, her fantastic.
Change the venue.
Okay, guys.
All of that stuff. You just got here 15, 20 minutes. You didn't hear a whole 2 hours worth of conversation. You came here thinking that we're just glorifying the unaliving of the young black man. That's not what we're talking about. We went in too deep on every detail, sir. You just came in on that. Go ahead, sir.
Well, yeah, my bad.
That part off with you. I want to clear up.
Okay, so I just want to say, can you tell us what your channel is? I want to be able to follow you when this is over.
It's Fantastic 824 on YouTube. Mr. Fantastic 824.
Oh, okay. All right. Tap in with us, man. We do this a lot, so I like how you think. Let's roll. All right,
hey, brother. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. It's all love, brother. Shadow Titan Wasp. Okay.
Oh, he didn't have to leave. He should have stayed.
I didn't want you to leave, brother.
Please come back. Don't leave because of us.
You didn't have to leave, Fantastic.
No, Fantastic.
He's out.
You're doing a great job.
Okay, so let our new brother Shadow go ahead. You have the floor.
Yes.
You're muted.
You on mute, Shadow. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Doing fine. How are you?
Good. I'm here to actually set a lot of things straight that was said. I appreciate the fact that you came down. I live in the county. I live in the city. I understand. I know that stadium. I know all of it. So I'm speaking from experience and somebody who went through a similar situation.
Okay,
so
great.
The reason, and I believe.
We can hear you. What happened?
Did you go out?
Did you go out? Can we hear you?
We're not, Shadow.
You can't hear us?
Oh, I thought somebody was talking.
No.
Ain't something going on. Oh, there goes.
Please.
Everybody mute up. Let's all mute up. Maybe there's a problem.
No. YouTube opened up on my phone. Okay, so number one, a lot of people are mistaking a lot of things that are going on. Like, number one, this was at a school event. The tents were not segregated tents. They were tents that were different from each location, but they were, in fact, Karmelo was, in fact, allowed in that tent because it was during a school event. Factually speaking, the only person who could have made him leave would have been a coaching or a facility member. So we're going to start with that alone. I bring up the totality of the circumstances that should have been looked at, that should have been argued by his defense, and why he responded the way he does. In Texas, especially here, we do not have an obligation to flee, period. We don't have an obligation to retreat. In some cases, depending on if you're a martial artist, you only have the obligation to give a warning. He actually did give the warning. I appreciate the fact y'all talked about the lineman tackle, right? The lineman push, that was touch 1. Touch 2 was when he actually grabbed him by the shoulders. That's 2 separate contacts. That's why he made the comment, if you touch me again, I have something for you. Because words do matter. That's how Austin got hit. And I say hit, and I'm saying hit because of your channel. So I'm respecting your channel. So the reason things played out the way they were is because, number one, we talk about, I submitted their penal codes for a reason, because I'm saying it wasn't just a verbal altercation. There was implicit threat, and I'm using this phrase specifically because at the time when they arrived and you were in the courtroom in a group of 6, true? A normal person, a reasonable person would assume that 6 aggressive people approaching them would be a dangerous situation. Fair?
Now, I just want to make it clear, though. They arrived coming back, walking to the tent. Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
That's fair. No, I can agree with that.
Okay.
But bare minimum, Austin and his brother came in aggressive. Fair?
There were witnesses in the court that put Hunter as talking toward Karmelo, also put Hunter on his feet. Okay. And Tion said, I believe it was Tion that said Hunter and them started with Karmelo, didn't mention Austin as being the first. So I could frame it that way. That's what I heard in the court.
That's fair. I'm in the initial report. Initially, a lot of people mentioned that Austin was the aggressor. But then as you see years passed, things have conveniently changed. This isn't a race thing for me. This is a Texas thing for me. Because as ma'am, I don't know your name right now. Sorry.
Mama Flip.
But as she mentioned, Texas has very specific stand your ground laws. So in this case, I, as a Texan who would stand my ground, this is an issue for me because I believe he should have been charged with a lesser offense because it would not have satisfied M1. It shouldn't have. And had his counsel effectively assisted him, I don't think he would have. You being there, did you hear a lot of objections from the defense counsel on like the knife portion, right?
I only heard 2 the entire time, pretty much.
I heard 2 the entire time. Everything I've read so far, there's been 2. Yeah, I'm going to pull Pacer as well.
Okay. So at least you jive that I was in court and a good witness. Go ahead.
I agree. So with that being said, there are a number of things, including prejudicial remarks, things that should have been brought up by the defense counsel that never was. Leading witnesses. The prosecutor asked a bunch of people who were 17 at the time if they believe that Mr. Anthony committed M. You remember that, right? It happened maybe 7 times.
More than that, yeah.
But I'm saying 7 because I've read 7. So
okay.
Right. So 7 times. In front of a jury. His lawyer should have objected that because those 17-year-olds at the time could not have been able to quantify what M was, legally speaking. They were asking them a legal question. His defense counsel should have asked them what are the qualifications for M.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
Am I saying that it was wrong for Austin Metcalf to perish? Yes, I am. I'm not saying that he was met with equal force. What I am saying is in Texas, we don't have to use equal force. Equal force is not a requirement here. And I'm going to use this panel right now, right? If you and Uda approached me at Walmart, right?
Yeah.
And Uda was being aggressive and you were posting up to his left. If I felt like fighting him, I should have the reasonable belief that you are also going to attack me, right?
Okay.
That would increase the threat level. There were multiple people that were larger than him that were present. Fair?
Fair. Yes.
So
Fair.
the argument I'm making right now is a totality of the circumstances. Why he felt like he was actually in danger. Why they suppressed his medical records that would have been relevant to the jury as to why he felt he was in danger.
Epilepsy, right?
If he has a history of seizures, and like you said, I think you mentioned it earlier. Hey, what if he just wanted to dunk him on the head? He has a history of seizures. Could that not be a life-threatening circumstance?
Okay, but let me pause you for 1 second. Just for court's sake, he had also within the last year had a shoulder injury. So that's just add that to the pot.
Okay, but that's, I guess that, wait, Austin had it or
Karmelo.
Okay. Okay, Anthony. Got it. Okay, but even still, you see what I'm saying? That's still adding to the pot. There are things that should have been brought up and used during closing arguments to explain why he felt he was in danger. Keep in mind, you don't have to believe you don't have to have proof that you're in mortal danger. You just have to believe that you could be in mortal danger. And in reality, because now I'm speaking as somebody in the county. If I believe you're going to jump me and I know a fight can end lethally because they do all the time, it may not be super common, but it does happen. And when people get jumped, sometimes people can die. He warned him to stay back. Austin then made physical contact saying, you don't have anything in the bag. So Austin ignored the warning, right?
Yeah, one of the students testified that he even told Austin, don't do it, because he felt like Karmelo had something in his hand in the bag.
Right.
And that's when Austin responded to that guy and said, hey, listen, I don't think he has anything. We're in Frisco. All right?
Had Austin, keep in mind, there are a bunch of students around. So a student has a weapon. Nobody knew what this weapon was yet. Right. But he has something in a backpack. We're in 2026. We've seen enough. But you're telling me now that everybody who was present, because again, I've seen this stadium, the coach was 100 feet away and no one thought to reach out to the coach. Right? No faculty member. In fact, the adult that pointed out Anthony to begin with was near where this tent was. So, and like I said, the reason I'm bringing all of this together is because there were mistakes made on both sides. But Anthony made a valid point by saying, do not touch me again. If you touch me again, I've got something for you. At that point, everybody should have dispersed. He played Billy Bad, and he ended up getting hit in his chest.
So let me clarify. Hold on. Let me clarify what's in court.
Okay.
In court, when he said that, there was no connection. When the connection happened, it all happened in one fell swoop. And let me explain it to you since you're there. I think it's very important because Uda didn't get a chance to hear this, right? So, based on the testimony, Karmelo never stood up. He's sitting on the bleacher, right? Um, Austin has this whole exchange. Austin tells him, let's move his bitch ass up out of here. Carmelo said, move my bitch ass. This linebacker move, his name was Ryan. I think it was Ryan that said that Austin came over, grabbed him like this to move him up. He says basically to lift him up.
Bench press extension, one of those.
Yeah, it's a
When
press.
he got him by the chest.
Right,
So
it's a press extension.
So he's coming through now. I'd already saw the video. The video shows where Austin goes to the right and he immediately comes back to the left, right? You couldn't tell if Carmelo was in that coming back, but right? So keep in mind, Eddie testified that Austin came at Carmelo so hard it knocked him over. So that's not what all these other students were saying, that he did a nice little polite touch on the shoulder. That's all cap, all right? Okay, I saw the video. It also defutes the guy standing outside by the road saying that all these guys had him in the headlock and they were doing all the bullshit, okay? So anyway, so he does this football move. Now, I want you to envision this all at the same time. Carmelo had already grabbed the book bag, put it in his lap. His hand is in the bag, probably on the knife. That's what the prosecution said in the opening arguments. So think about it. Carmelo is sitting low in the bleachers. Austin is 6'1". He has to lean forward. I mean, if you're going to grab a guy that's sitting down, even if he's in a chair, you got to bend, you got to extend yourself if he's still sitting, right? So he's grabbing him. Simultaneously, Carmelo is reaching in the bag and turning the knife up. So when he come in to do his bum rush, that's why that cut is so deep. If you really want to think about it, right? Because when he pulls that, because he's moving, but they don't want to say that. You see what I'm saying? People want to act so. Let me check myself. People just want to come on and say, "Oh, he stood up and stuck the guy in the heart." That's not how it happened in court. And when I say it, I get frustrated because people who were not in court, they don't quite get that the reason why this guy took such a deep hit is because he was moving like a freight train so much. Eddie moved out the way. Carmelo grabbed his knife out the bag, turned it over, and pokes him while he's moving. You see what I'm saying? Imagine
he basically upped it.
He was able to look. Okay, Uda, I see you all the time. We know each other covering cases and stuff. If I come to you and grab you by your collar, right? I got to be close up on you. Don't you? Would you agree?
Yes.
And Uda, if you're sitting down in front of the courthouse in New York City, the one you sit at we sit all the time, right? In line. Yeah. I have to extend myself to grab you. It's like
even grab me. So that's another forward motion. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he leans back, then I'm laying on, I'm almost grooving on top of you. There you go. You see what I'm saying? So we don't know how it went down, but he pulls this knife out the bag. He never stands up, is my point. All right. So I think this should help people understand that it's not so simplistic as everybody who just listening to some mainstream media just saying, "Oh, he just stuck the boy in the heart."
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, what is your name? What is your name again? I'm sorry, I can't see it.
Shadow the Titan.
Shadow, yeah.
Shadow. I wanted to follow up on something that you said. You're absolutely right about the stand your ground. Also, you were right on when you said that once someone says that I have something for you, it should have dispersed the crowd. So what I did is I actually went online because my background, just in case a lot of people don't know, I'm an actual, even though the young man that was there before don't know me, I'm an actual real life expert on these situations. I hold many hats. So you're not talking to just a Black woman online, even though all of us are pure excellence and beauty anyway. I'm actually an expert in these fields. So what I wanted to do is find out what was the latest mass unaliving shooting in Texas in 2026, because that's a key point that you said, that once somebody say that I'm about to read something, people normally disperse. It says, as of May 7, 2026, Texas regularly leads the nation in shooting, where 4 or more are injured, including 35 such cases in 2025 alone. Texas is known as one of the primary states for mass shootings. So once you hear, normally when these kids are part of a crew, and even if it's Frisco, because Parkland thought the same thing, oh, this kind of thing is not going to happen in Parkland. You understand what I'm saying? Normally, when you hear that I'm about to reach for something, these kids should have dispersed and kept it moving. You understand? It would have been a warning in most circumstances. So I just wanted to acknowledge what he said, that I wanted to make sure we focus on that, is the fact that he warned him and that the people weren't paying attention. So thank you for saying that. I just wanted to make sure I said that.
I want to iron out a few things, because there's a lot of things people keep misapplying. And I'm saying this very clearly. Everybody who's saying he wasn't allowed there, I want someone to prove to me where in school policy he was not allowed to be where he was. Socially, he wasn't wanted there. But explain to me how he wasn't allowed. Did they ever establish that in court?
Yeah, they did.
What did they say, Mel?
Several individuals, even a lot of the students says, yeah, other people come and sit under our tent for a few minutes and keep it moving. It wasn't, maybe it was Coach Starr that tried to make a hard line and say, oh, you can't go into somebody else's tent. But several coaches said that the students, because they're there all day. So let's say Uda goes at 10 o'clock and he goes at 3. In the interim, he's going under different people's tents because they know each other from middle school and elementary, whatever. So they made it very clear that people were floating around. They didn't produce any policy in written form. Now, when it came to the weapon, they showed you the picture where it said you can't have a weapon, drugs, whatever. All right. But they never showed a policy saying you can't go under someone else's tent. Most of the people said, okay.
So why did I bring that? You understand why I brought that point up, right?
Of course.
Because a lot of people are saying he provoked them by going somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Well, we can establish that he was allowed there. Therefore, he was not supposed to be there.
No.
So that is not how he initiated the conflict, right? So again, in order to be the instigator, you must be the initiator of the conflict. Initiation of the conflict comes from the Metcalfs. And in fact, in Hunter's first statement, he said why he felt guilty because he initiated. Remember, that was Hunter's initial statement twice.
Yes, I said that. Thank you. Thank you for reminding us that. Hunter is the one that said it to us that he's
defense didn't bother to show that. Why?
I can't speak on why the defense did it because I don't know. Honestly, in my opinion, it's just ineffective assistance of counsel. I understand where defense failed because we're able to have this conversation as someone who's been there and someone who lives here. You were in the courtroom. Everything I'm explaining to you, the defense should have put forward. Does that mean I believe Hunter? I believe he should have got off. No, I'm not saying Karmelo should have been freed. I'm saying Karmelo should not have been sentenced to M1, period. Because what he did not qualify for it. It wasn't premeditated. What he did, and in fact, I appreciate you doing something that no other person has done today. You explained the motion of what happened. So I said this earlier today with the SVG family, and I said, and I quote, what he was not trying to X him off, he was trying to get him off of him because he still felt threatened. My belief is his intent was not to kill him. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Yes, he did, but I don't believe it was his intent. And how do we know that? Because it was the first thing he said when the cops came. He said, no, it was me. I did stab him.
But let me jump in for 1 second. Immediately, he ran up about 2 or 3 bleachers. He threw the knife down. He ran down the bottom of the bleachers. He fell. He got up. He's running. 3 guys are running behind him. He goes into the field. He gets stopped by a coach by the name of Tiffany. She puts her hand up. He stops. Tiffany gives him to the big black coach. He's Holding or something like that. Coach Holding, or starts with the H. He's 6'2", 240 pounds.
Coach
He put his arm around Karmelo and tells him, what did you do, son? Because everybody was pointing him out. And then he said Karmelo says he hit me, he touched me first. He said he got distracted for a minute. He went to talk to somebody. He came back and Karmelo was still there, didn't try to run away. But he says, listen, whatever you did today could have changed your life forever, to Karmelo. Son, he was like, Karmelo says, oh, he's not going to die. So that tells you right there. And then when the police officer came, he says, is he okay? So that's what they were trying to use to show basically that he didn't have the intent to kill the guy. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm just telling you what was in court, folks.
Yeah, I heard that too as well.
Just want to step in and say
a lot of people believe. And
sorry, Shadow. I think you stuck. Am I stuck or Shadow stuck?
Shadow
freezing a little bit.
Okay.
Freezing a little bit, Shadow. Probably going through a little service area.
Yeah, you probably have to come back.
Okay, so you could go until he comes back. Maybe he has to go out and come back.
Yeah.
Okay, he's back. He's back.
Shadow.
You back?
Go ahead. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, there he is. Okay, go ahead.
Say something. Let's see if you're unfrozen, Shadow. Because you're probably going through a service area.
Okay.
But what I wanted to say, when he comes in, he could jump back in. What I wanted to say is that even though I feel that he had a good case for stand your ground, meaning Karmelo had a good stand your ground, doesn't mean that any of us are saying, because I'm not one of the ones that says that he should have been let free without without consequences, right? If it was proven that it was stand your ground, right, then I think that he should have been able to have that legal case. And if it's proven and they say they agree, then yes, he should have been let free. But if not, then he should have served time. I'm saying that he should have been given that option. That's what I'm saying, right? He should have been given. I think it was ineffective defense, and I'm going to continue to say that. No matter what anybody said, he was not completely taken care of in that court. Yes, just like the other gentleman said, it is his parents' fault, even though I don't want to point fingers at the parent because I know they're going through it. But it needs to be retried. That's why I'm not concentrating on the trial that just passed because it's over. I want to concentrate in helping with the appeal. That's how I feel about it. I just want to make sure, because a lot of people are here trying to say that we are trying to say that, we don't care that he unalived the young man and that we trying to get him free and stuff like that. Not all of us. And I said it over and over again. A lot of black folks, like the guy that came in earlier, I forgot his name. A lot of black folks. Mr. Fantastic. Thank you. Mr. Fantastic. A lot of black folk believe just like Mr. Fantastic. That's why we've been arguing about this for so long. A lot of black folks are saying that, well, if it was your son and he was unalive, you would feel a certain way. Well, I could tell you as a survivor of gun violence, I lost a family member. I was very happy when that kid that unalived my nephew went to jail. And I felt that he should have served life, to be honest with you, because he took it away from my whole family. So I'm very empathetic. But with that being said, if we want to think logically, though, because everybody keep talking about how women think with their emotions and everything, because that's why Mr. Fantastic came in. He implying that women think with their emotion and we're not thinking about legality. I'm telling you, as a fellow survivor who's been an advocate in this movement for a long time, I'm thinking legally. All emotions set aside, he wasn't given the proper defense. That's all I'm saying. And because he wasn't given a proper defense, I do not feel comfortable with the 35 years because they're going to do that to somebody else. And I'm also saying that if he was a white boy that unalived a black kid, he would have got the proper defense. We probably wouldn't be here because they would not have indicted him most likely. And he would have had the full strength of the stand your ground laws. That's what I'm saying. And I want to make sure that everybody understands it because I don't want people coming in because I'm an actual advocate in real life. And I don't want words to be put in my mouth that it's not true. All right. So I just want to make it clear This is amazing. Wow, amazing panel, Mel. I thought
So,
we outdid ourselves, even with the Trump argument and stuff like that. But go ahead.
so Uda, I want to hear what you have to
Yes,
say. What's your
please, Uda.
assessment?
What are you saying?
I don't think that Carmelo's intention was to do that, though. I just don't think that was his intention. I believe that it happened. I don't believe that he was the aggressor. I believe that the brothers, R.I.P. to Austin or his brother Hunter, I believe that they were the aggressors. I believe that his defense failed him. I really believe that his defense failed him. I think they even failed to bring up certain motions that you supposed to put in for even the appeals and everything else. I think it was very lackluster defense. Some people saying it's the money or whatever the reasons are, but I just think the defense was really lackluster. Yeah, I think it's the defense a lot. You could say it was rigged and it's Texas and there wasn't no black jurors on there, which we could add all of those factors in. But I just think that his defense dropped the ball on a lot of factors. I just think that they really just dropped the ball for him. And then one thing I'm not saying that because I didn't think that he would testify. And I didn't know if it would have been right for him to testify because when you get in front of those prosecutions, even though you think you're telling the truth and you are telling the truth, they can make you look really crazy. These people do this for a living. They will cook you up and dice you up. But with him not testifying, we just don't know what was in his mind. What did he feel from his vantage point? What did he think? And that's just a question mark in all of our minds, even in the Metcalf family's minds. It's just a question mark in our minds. And I think that was a fault. I think he should have spoke. I think he should have said something. You know what I mean? So I think it would have answered a lot of questions if he did. But in big cases like that, usually the defendant is not going to speak,
I mean, I think that in regards to him giving his, I don't think his lawyer gave him an opportunity to speak. Just like in Diddy trial, you think that Diddy didn't want to speak?
Diddy wanted to talk.
Yeah, damn well Mark Agnefilia is the one that stopped Diddy from speaking. Diddy was running that trial, and Mark was like, "You're not going up there." So I don't think it was Carmelo's choice to not speak. I think that it was the lawyers. It was the lawyers that made that decision for him, and he didn't. Now there was a question asked, and I would like Shadow to come in. But Mel, you had a great question saying, "Why did they pay? If they paid a lawyer, why would the lawyer throw the case?" We're saying that the lawyer was ineffective. That's it. We don't know why he would throw that. He's ineffective. Also, I'm very surprised that I'm being told that this particular lawyer was the George Zimmerman lawyer. Maybe he got very cocky. Maybe he thought that and I have to look it up. I'm just telling you what I heard. Maybe he got too cocky. Maybe he felt that he knew it all. But the fact is that he was ineffective. He did not do his job at the very minimum. I know that Mr. Fantaxis said, why would they change jurisdiction? Why would they transfer? At the very minimum, almost every major trial that I heard of when it became a celebrity, even Fulio, I'm sure that a good defense attorney would at least put in an attempt to change the jurisdiction. I'm not saying it's going to be proven. I'm not saying it's going to be approved. Some people went as far, even the current president of the United States. Every case he goes to, Donald Trump is trying to change the jurisdiction, right? Every lawyer does that. So for them not to even try, to me, just shows that it was not a great defense. And that's it. Nothing I'm saying could have probably changed anything. Maybe not, but at least it would have proved to us as a community, maybe not all communities, but us as a community, that at least he was given effective counseling. And
okay, so let's let Shadow hop back in. Shadow, go.
I just want to make one correction with the Zimmerman thing, Shadow.
Okay,
they said, as far as publicly reported as the trial team goes, none of Karmelo Anthony's lead attorneys were represented by George Zimmerman in the case. But look, they said Zimmerman's defense team was led by Mark O'Mara and included Don West. But you may have heard a connection because a jury consultant named Richard Hirshorn commented on the Karmelo Anthony case and noted that he had previously worked for Zimmerman's defense team. However, he specifically said that he was not involved with the Karmelo Anthony trial.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that. Okay, thank you.
So yeah, Shadow.
That point, I'll start using that point. Shadow, we're here. We're here to hear you.
Okay, I think he's still taking care of something. So
Go ahead, Mel.
Mama Flips.
Yes. Mama
so
Flip.
so going.
So
Okay, so we got Shadow back. Go ahead, Shadow.
Go ahead. We're here for you.
okay. So I don't think we're arguing the fact if he did it or didn't do it. I don't think I've heard anybody say, "Oh no, he didn't do it." That's not what the issue is. The issue is what he was convicted of. Because the jury was also given the instructions for the lesser charged offense of man, right?
At the last moment. I heard it was the last moment. I could be wrong, but yeah.
No, it had happened. From what I heard, it was before the deliberations even started.
Yeah.
But I'm being told that it should have been an offer. And tell me if I'm wrong, Mel. It should have been part of the offer from the very beginning, because that's exactly what happened with the cases that I know, that you give all the different offers and the different cases in the very beginning of the trial. Sometimes you could remove something, but it's very rare that you add something. So I'm told that it was given.
I think Calvin said they reserved the right to get into the trial and then the defense, present that. So I think it did happen on that last
day.
Last timing, yeah.
But go ahead, Shadow. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Shadow.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. All right. So
be back. Go ahead, Mel. You were saying.
All right. So I was going to ask you. Yeah. So have you changed your opinion as to anything after tonight, or?
I think no, I have not changed my opinion, but I am going to remove certain statements out. Right. I'm going to make sure that I change the picture that I have out that's saying that the prosecutor, the judge are friends with the Metcalf. So I'm going to do that. I'm still sticking to the point that Eddie was his friend, because that's what you told me. I did not know about the multi-tool knife. I did not know that, so I'm definitely going to talk about that. Even though you're probably going to say I'm going to sound crazy, I'm going to definitely talk about that while you had it. I didn't know that that they actually laid hand on him and tried to pull him up, because I didn't understand how whatever he had. I thought it was a big butcher. I thought it was a huge weapon, to be honest with you, to get through his heart. I didn't know it was like 3.5 inches, but now I understand that. So I want to really talk about that. I've always felt that stand your ground should have been brought up. Just because, as I made it clear, I know the law about stand your ground in Texas. No matter what penal code that you guys read, and I'm glad Shadow was here to talk about it, I fought the law with the Texas Moms Demand Action team for many years when they tried to remove the obligation. So that's why I know for a fact that Texas a whole bar, you could, as long as you think that you're in trouble and deadly force, you could use it. So I know that for a fact. So I'm not going to change on that. I don't know if there's anything that I should change besides you don't want me to use the multi-tool as a explanation. What do you think I should change in my reasoning, Mel? Or Udo on the go? What do you think?
You got to understand that the heart and the chest cavity, all of this is right here. To the left, his lungs is not that deep. Everything is right past the rib cage. Everything is right past this chest bone. Everything is right here. So it's not that deep.
I thought it was deeper, because you know why? Because maybe it's because I saw a lot of medical information, and because I also do CPR. I actually was trained on CPR. And one of the things that I was told, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I've been trained several times and certified, that when you are actually giving them the Heimlich maneuver, right, you have to press down hard. I was taught in class, and again, this is why I hate when people think that I'm just nobody in these streets. I'm talking about I've had expertise in everything. I was taught in class that you have to. Mel, why are you shaking your head? I'm telling you, I was.
No. The girl is asking, is it a Swiss Army knife? I'm saying no.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm sorry. I was taught in class that you have to, when you are pumping, this is why you have 2 people and you are pumping, that you have to put you have to be careful, but you have to put the strength of your upper body to press through several muscles to get to the heart when you're giving them, when you're giving the CPR. That's what I was taught. So in my mind, knowing from my training, I didn't know it was so close to the surface, because I was always taught it's not close to the surface.
Well, look, The front of the heart is typically sits about 2 to 4 inches, which is 5 to 10 centimeters behind the breastbone, the sternum. The center of the heart is often about 4 to 6 inches, which is 10 to 15 centimeters from the surface of the chest.
And
So
that's
2
why
to 4
because-
inches in there is that.
Yeah,
which is
but this is why exactly that we were taught we have to press hard and stuff like that. We have to, to get to the heart in order to pump it. That's what I was taught. So that's why I'm like, okay, this doesn't sound like that it was going to be an easy poke. But either way, it's a knife any which way, so it could slice through the bones and everything anyway, the muscles and bone easily. But that's why I was thinking that it was, especially it was a 3.5. When I heard it was 3.5, I was like, I really thought it was a longer blade, to be honest with you. So this is the first time I'm hearing the size and what it is. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So anything else that I should change that you guys thought in the conversation?
To pump the heart, you got to push deeper to pump the heart.
Yes.
But as far as the puncture wound is just right there, the heart is really right there. So it's literally.
No, I know. I know, and that's what I'm saying. That I hear you now, but based on the training, what I did with CPR, I always thought that the heart was like deeper. It depends on the bone. I'm just telling you what I'm talking. It would depend on the muscle mass, especially if you are, bigger, tougher. But again, a knife could slice through anything anyway. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I was very surprised when Mel said that, and also, but Mel also told us that one of the reasons why it plunged so hard is because of the way that Austin seemed to like the motion of his body. At least that's what I heard, kind of maybe have led to the knife being plunged even deeper. Am I wrong in that, in getting that information from you, with the way that he kind of was trying to get on
the video shows that Austin was going toward Karmelo. You could see it was intense.
Okay.
And if you factor in what Eddie said, Austin knocked him out the way as he was on his way to Karmelo.
Okay.
Karmelo never stood up, and the other student, right? His name started with a J, I think Jalen. It's Ryan, I think Ryan. He says that he mentioned this linebacker move, right? Okay. So if Karmelo is sitting and you can get to him to grab him with two hands to move him up, and you're moving steady so much that you knock a guy out the way, Karmelo doesn't get up, but he pulls the knife out of the bag, we assume, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't get up, so we assume that he holds it in the direction of Austin that's moving in his direction, right? Yeah. Some of the individuals are trying to say, "Oh, so you're just saying that Austin fell on a knife?" No, that's not what we're saying.
When I say that he fell on a knife,
but he ran it. But he definitely ran into it.
We're saying the motion itself. But we're saying that the illusion that this young man went into a track meet with a long knife in order to stab somebody, which is intentionally, which is what's supposed to be proven when it comes to Erdo 1, is not there. That's what we're saying.
I can't see now. I can't necessarily say that.
I don't see it.
I can't. In all honesty, I can't speak on his motive, right? I can't.
But do you feel that based on what you saw, do you feel that there's even a slight chance that this is what I'm saying. Listen to my words very carefully now. Based on his motive and him going to sit there, was there any indication that he intentionally had hostility, any history against those guys? Because that's what happened when it comes to unalignment and mass shooting, right? There was intent. There's a plan there. Was there anything in that court that led us to believe that he intentionally went there with the motivation because of anger or past interaction to actually unalive somebody under that tent? That's what I'm asking.
That's what everybody want to say, right?
But was there any evidence that you heard? That's what
no evidence in court of that per se. But then you have to question, why did he bring the knife? So that's where people are. That's where they're being guided with the knife. Now, I will tell you this. Mm-hmm. And okay, so in court, Eddie says, and Eddie agreed when the defense says, "Hey, listen, 10 days prior, were you sitting with Eddie? Were you guys sitting together?" Eddie says, "Oh, I saw him talked to him under the concession stand." Toby Shook, the defense attorney, says, "Were you sitting together on the field?" Eddie says, no, I don't think so. So then they put it on the screen. They're sitting together having the time of their lives, probably. I don't know, right? They're sitting on the field. It's obvious, okay? So one could assume that since Eddie and Austin, they're all on the same team memorial. And if Eddie and Karmelo is sitting together on the field, it's very likely that he's in the same vicinity somewhere of Austin and Hunter. So you could come to the conclusion that these guys have seen each other. That day under the tent was not the first time. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I ain't trying to go. I'm trying to keep it court. So let's leave it.
But you have a great point. But would not the prosecutor have brought up the fact in order to push the narrative that there was some hostility, some negative interaction between Karmelo and the brothers if it happened before? Wouldn't the prosecutor bring that up then?
So I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you first of all, guys, we have different channels here. Definitely go subscribe to everybody's channel. Please shout out yourself, Uda, and everybody. Good folk here, amazing people. Please like, share, subscribe. We do this all the time. We go to court cases.
Uda,
we got
me and
Uda on the go.
I love you, and we gotta connect again. Me and you, we gotta talk.
I'm sorry, I had to deal with some stuff at home. I apologize.
Right?
It's
I
all right.
apologize for getting mad at you, but I want to talk to you and then. So text me.
Okay. I will.
But my channel is Mama Flip Live and Mama Flip Slots. Go ahead, Shadow. We've been waiting for you. What would you like to say?
A lot of people like to talk about how a lot of people who are defending Karmelo make it about race. Uda knows me well. I'm adopted by white people. That's my family. It's not about the race. What I'm saying is they spent a lot of time. His counsel did not try to defend him. Yes, we all can acknowledge that Metcalf died. It sucks. Sorry. But he died. And again, I appreciate the fact that you broke down the video, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, no, he aimed center mass. No, he aimed for the closest thing to him. And Austin was a wide boy. Sorry.
Can I interject for 1 second?
Yes.
Can I just tell you that, right? I don't know if you ever shot a gun or whatever. It's hard to hit a target that's not even far from you, right? You got to be on top of your game. Sometimes to say that he was able to just execute and hit exactly where he wanted to while this guy's coming at him, come off of it. You know what I mean? Anyway, but people don't want to hear that. They want to feed into whatever if they listen to whatever 3-letter channel, they're going to stick with that. So let them stick with it.
I do want to address the white and black issue once you finish, Shadow, but go ahead.
Yeah, let him work out.
Yes.
So the reason why people aren't wanting to admit it is because they're seeing the race behind it. I'm seeing it as a Texan. This case is a problem for me because it infringes on my stand your ground of my ability to not just protect me, to not just protect my family, or protect someone else in a situation. Because now the question becomes, am I going to go to jail for justifiably protecting something? Because this actually implies a lot. Because yes, I don't care. People keep talking about proportionality. We don't have proportionality in Texas. People need to stop they're bringing up other places' laws. We don't have proportionality. We don't have an obligation to flee. Hell, in most cases, we don't even have to warn you we're about to strike. But instead, everybody's being emotional. Everybody stop. Please. It's not about the race. It's about the fact that the law is a problem here. His defense counsel had an easy stand your ground case. And especially after now I've heard that you saw the same thing I saw in that grainy video. Now that I know you saw the closer version of it and it affirms what I said, I now stand on this hard. Karmelo Anthony did not intend to kill him. Karmelo Anthony intended to reduce the threat and make everybody else leave. And in doing what he did, that's exactly what happened. He actually didn't know he was going to kill him. He actually didn't know what his fate was, but he did know one thing. The man who was pressing me got off him. And I say man, but he was a boy. We all know what I mean. He got off of him. And nobody can fault him for that. I've heard a lot of people say, well, he should have learned to just fight. You may be willing to risk your life, but you can't say he should have risked his because of your beliefs. Y'all, the thing that wasn't established is how he felt, the totality of his circumstances. And any halfway basic defense attorney is going to be able to find the things that should have been appealed. It's going to take 6 years to even get to the ball rolling. Everybody's saying, oh, he's only got to do 17 and a half. No, it's an aggravated offense in Texas, and it's a capital offense. He's literally going to do 23 minimum.
23 or so, about 23 or so.
At 17 and a half, he's going to come up for his first parole. He will be denied immediately. They're not even going to look at him. Yep. He's going to get a 2-year reset, a 3-year reset, then a 2-year reset, then a 1-year reset, and then they're going to reset him year after year, depending on his then prison conduct. Do I believe he deserved prison time? Yes. And it's sad for me to say that because at the end of the day, he did actually, he broke the law anyway. But do I believe he should serve for him? The answer is no. And this is speaking as a Texan in the county right now at home. Sorry.
So I want to say 2 things. One, he broke the rules of the school. He didn't break the law because the whatever he's carrying is legally allowed. So let's just say that, right? Second, in regards to the race war, the reason why a lot of us is pushing the race, again, and I'm sure you know this, but I just want to make it clear, is because I honestly feel, based on the law, based on my experience, based on advocating against that law, because I was one of the ones, I'm sorry, Shadow, I was one of the ones that was pushing very hard for Texas not to change the standard of obligation. I fought very hard. Me and my group, we fought very hard on that. We thought it was an open carry field to unalive people. So I'm telling you that I know that law, right? So based on that, I'm saying to you, the reason why we feel as Black folks, it's a race consideration, if it's not a direct racist situation, is because if it was Austin, right, that was unalived, that unalived Karmelo, they would have used the stand your ground law to defend Austin, and we would not be having this conversation. That's why a lot of us is using the race and saying that he was ineffectively defended. The fact that the fact that made everybody crazy is how fast the trial went, right? How fast the deliberation went. The fact that he got a sentencing the same. I go back to tell, I don't know if you heard it before, I'm a survivor. My nephew was unalived. I sat in court with my sister every single day. You understand what I'm saying? I think that trial took about 6 weeks with all the evidence and everything. The jury went to deliberate, I think 2 or 3 days. We had a heart attack thinking that, I remember that the anxiety of me having a heart attack thinking that he was going to find, the guy was going to find not guilty. And then we had to come back for the sentencing. You understand what I'm saying? I went through trial, not only for myself and my family, I went through other trials with other family members because I'm a survivor advocate. I wear many hats. So when I speak based on experience. So this is why we feel that it's a race thing, because he's been unfairly adjudicated.
Okay, so let me just ask Shadow, lock in with me. Can you reach out? My email is watchingtheworld777@gmail.com. I want to get your information so we can lock in. Let me ask you a question, because I sat through the trial and I walked away and I said to myself, he won't be able to get around having a knife in a school environment. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with that. That's a Class B misdemeanor, though.
To me, it was case closed. They were going to throw the book at him.
And if it happens twice, then what happens after that, Shadow?
Then it becomes a state jail felony.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
so hold on, back up. So
But when you couple that with his death,
So hold on. I want to make it. I'm going to answer your question right now in the simplest way possible. In Texas and in most places in general, possession of a weapon does not prove intent to kill specifically. Just because I have it does not mean that my intent is to cause, unaliving.
wait, okay,
Factual statement.
wait a minute. You just brought up an issue that I just said it, and you did not disagree with me until Mel asked this question. Let me repeat myself. You're saying it's illegal. He could be arrested for carrying that type of knife, which is what you said, 3.5 multi-purpose contraption.
two.
So let me be very specific, because you're not going to be arrested initially. But if, especially in Texas schools, if you are in possession of a weapon on school grounds, you can be charged with a Class B misdemeanor. And that's because the location is illegal, not the item. Had he out after school, if he's walking home, is he legally allowed? In fact, he could stop by the gas station and buy one himself. So I'm gonna use the phrase weapon because at the end of the day, that's what it ended up being used as. So I don't care what we want to call it. Knives typically have tings, and that's a whole different conversation. In this case, him having it was not illegal. Him having it at the school was, but that doesn't mean he was in the commission of a felony. So again, stand your ground still stands. He wasn't the aggressor. Stand your ground still stands. He clearly felt threatened. Stand your ground still stands. Okay. A competent counsel should have raised that.
Okay, so here it is. It's saying that it depends on the blade length in the school district policies that he could say if he could be arrested in the face. So it depends.
I'm speaking our school district.
So that there's ambiguity there. So they're saying that it has to be over 5.5 inches.
That's Texas. That's Texas as a whole.
Yes, legal. However, okay. Zero tolerance policy. Okay, all right. Thank you. I just want to make sure that.
When I was like about 13, I bought.
I'm just trying to help.
And they kicked me out of school.
I'm glad you said that.
But I'm in New York though.
Guys, we're about to enter another day, and it's about to hit 4 hours, so we're about to wrap it up. But I invite everybody back tomorrow night. So look, I invite you guys.
Shadow the Titan Watch
tomorrow night. You want to do this again tomorrow night?
Let's go.
8:00 p.m. Uda, always pull up. Where you been at, man? I was gonna come looking for you, Uda. What's up, man?
In the cut, man. I see you doing your thing.
I know. We know how to activate when we need to. That's for sure.
No, we do.
So you want to be here tomorrow?
I'm glad my boy. I told Shadow to come up. I'm glad Shadow hit that link though.
Thank you, Shadow.
Thank you, Shadow. Person that's there, you understand the law as well. Shadow the Titan Watch. You need to start covering this on your channel too as well, man. Shadow the Titan Watch. Yeah, follow him, man.
Oh, so I'm my Cash App.
No, I sent my email if y'all need to reach out to me.
Okay, thank you.
Once Pacer drops, I'm going to be pulling these files.
Yeah.
Because I understand where his IAC is going to come from. Mm-hmm. And in order for people to help him find an appeal, I'm not asking him to get off, but he definitely needs to get this M off of him.
I think
this M is unjust, but his prison sentence, the length of his sentence is, the punishment is not. Does that make sense?
Yes, I agree 100%. I mean, I still would have preferred that he had a chance with stand your ground and stuff like that, but I am not angry that he's have repercussion, if you understand what I'm saying, right? To me, if they prove that it was complete self-defense and everything was aligned, then I would be okay with him being released, right? But if there's other circumstances involved, I have to rethink my thoughts as far as the illegality of the knife from above. At the end of the day, I don't think that he should be serving 35 years. and I think that he should get an appeal. That's why I said I didn't want to litigate. I didn't want to fight about the original case because I feel the way I feel about it. I want to talk about the appeal to give him a fair trial. That's how I feel about it. But thank you for saying that, Udo.
I appreciate y'all. I think this is a great panel. Salute to everybody in the chat, regardless of what side of the fence you may fall on. Regardless of the fact, I still state that there are no winners in this case. Period. 2 families have lost. Condolences to Austin's family. RIP to Austin Metcalf. And the Karmelo family, my heart goes out to them too as well, because I think that both families sent their children to school and both families didn't intend for this. I don't think that they both intended for this, regardless of the fact. So, you know what I mean? From the chat, it was a great conversation in the chat. Regardless if we think we disagree or nothing, it's good because we don't need echo chambers. Everybody needs to have their own mind. And when we all come together, maybe we can stick to the facts, right? And we just figure it out. And we all help each other to figure out any case or any situation. You know what I mean? Hopefully none of us ever find ourselves in these situations, and God bless us and our children. So that's what I want to tell y'all, man. Salute to Mel, watching the World 7-7.
All right, thank you. You know, tomorrow when we come back, I want to ask Shadow, because we discussed the whole theory about when the father said he forgave them. Should the family had advanced at that moment and threw him an olive branch to try to amend things a bit before it went to trial, and if you think that would have made a difference for him receiving 35 years? So we can get it. We can get into that tomorrow.
We can get that tomorrow. That's a good topic for tomorrow.
No, let me answer that real quick, please. Because
no, they don't drag it. Don't drag it.
I got it. My answer's super short anyway. If he really forgave him, one of the first things he should have said that at the sentencing when they were asking for the victim impact statements. But notice that's not what happened. You're saying.
But I'm saying going back in time when he first did it, because remember they kicked him out. So obviously he's not going to say it at the trial. He pissed off by now. But I'm saying when you go back in time when he was offering an olive branch, I'm saying being a street smart guy, the guy says, "Hey, I forgive your son." Would you rather try to get an advancement with the guy, solve it, whatever, or would you rather go out and kick him out and now tell the whole world this is a race war?
We never kicked him out. Absolutely not.
They didn't gonna. It was 40 minutes he was there. Thank you. And
no.
I still maintain that guy who's the minister should have never been a spokesman for that family. And I think he did more to hurt that case and that family than he did to help them. I'm gonna maintain that too, bro. Trust me.
He was there for 40 minutes. He could have did an olive branch. He was there 40 minutes before he was escorted away. That I think that whole olive branch, he mentioned that after the fact. I think it's BS. He was there to intimidate the family. They felt it. He was there. He didn't try, and he could have gone back and reached out to the family in other ways to say, let's work it out. He did not. And I think that was just an excuse the father said. Also, I will end by him calling Karmelo Anthony the watermelon felon. In his latest interview, just show me where his mind is. Thank you. That's what he did. Yes. It's on tape. Yes. Thank you.
That's pretty crazy, but emotions are high, man. Emotions high. But I know I did hear that man say he feels for Karmelo because he's going to be in prison and he's up against a lot. He also said that, you know what I mean? He also said this as well, you know what I mean? So, and I was shocked to hear Jeff Metcalf say this, man. You know what I mean? He said like he forgave him as well. He said he won't forget certain stuff. He thought about his son, but he also said that he feels for him because he's a young kid and he's not ready for this life that he's about to start living behind that wall, man. And he said he felt for him, man. So I was shocked to hear Metcalf say that, man. I was really
So Uda, how about let's figure it out now. So who wants to pull all the videos? You know what? I'll pull the videos. Sorry, I'm cool.
I'll try to highlight the minutes to see if we could get him on the panel.
I'm gonna pull the videos for tomorrow night. Thank you, Remedy. I'm shocked you didn't come up tonight, but I'll give you I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, guys. So 8 p.m. tomorrow. We're gonna close out with Shadow. Give us some closing words and
Shadow. Go ahead.
I appreciate y'all letting me up today. This. Again, I'm a Texan at this point. This is an important thing because it actually impacts my community. It's something, and I don't mean my Black community. I don't mean Collin County. this impacts the city I live in, the county I live in, the state I live in, and the people that I love every day. We can grieve for Metcalf. We should also be grieving for Anthony, because he just lost his life in a way. He's not coming back out the same way he came in. I believe he made a mistake. He should have some level of, he should have a second chance to do better. I appreciate y'all.
Different voices, but the same song. Loving a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.